Why, hello there, my dear sinners, and welcome back. As you can see, my two players just there are in the chat. Also, Adascalis is Onyx's new name, by the way, if anyone doesn't know. Then with a change of name, so if anyone doesn't know who Adascalis is, that is Onyx's new name. But thank you very much for the resub, my friend. Welcome on in, everyone. I do hope you're all having a wonderful Sunday. Mine has been contentious at best. But nothing a little bit last-minute planning and a little bit of night rain to twist my nuts. Can't help with, eh? But hey, hopefully the little feedback issue we were having the other day is fixed now, so you shouldn't have that in your ears anymore. Should be smoother now. I've sorted it, I think. But let me know how the audio is as we go along. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to A Voice in the Dark, the start of Act 2. Yes, we're in Act 2 now. The stakes could be higher, could be lower, depends how nice I'm feeling today, and the threats to their mortal souls and their lives could be even worse. Or better, who knows. But, of course, I could yap on for ages, but I think we should jump straight in. So, let me do that, and close off that playlist. Up system sound just a little bit. Or don't. Just a smidge on that. Alright, let me just unmute in Discord. Let me just tell them I'm going to mute first. Now. Bazinga. Wow, Ransley Bazinga. Change your name in Discord, fuck, I can see your old name still. Right. Fuckers, introduce yourselves. Who are you? Who the fuck are you people? Good. I'd have whipped him if he didn't. The Carl Gustav? So a games journalist could complete it. My word. The snake. A snake. Yes, instead, he simply waits and His poor audience must look at him with big hamster eyes, begging, pleading for him to return to them. They do. I've seen some shit they say in your Discord. Ah, you're enjoying the emote. The snake. They could be here. Hey, that's one benefit for them, hey? You might be able to stream normally, but you're here now. Other people's channels. Start engineering. Also, for anyone worried from last time, we got a new ship art because I realised the last one may or may not have been made by Abominable Intelligence, so we found one made by people. Yes, but yes. I think this may have been made on Space Engineers. It looked cool, so we're using it. You can. But you know what? It looks cool, it's been very well made, and it looks 40k as fuck, so I'm rolling with it. I see. Well, on that note... To clarify, no one present is that friend in question. He was offered to join us. I will stress. Okay. It's not me, you fucking snake. It is not me. It is not me. It's not me. It's not me, you... Listen here, you gooner bait. It's not me. Mr. Moan Redeem. This man moans for channel points. Whore. literal slut now. Right. Now we're thoroughly off the fucking kilter. Oh, that is good, yes, in this context, that is good. What happened last time? It's been a while. Did you think of Joe Biden? Sus. I was going to get to that. Spoilers. Still, you get a choice.
Have been.
I've just realised I had you guys muted on the fucking stream the entire time.
Really?
I forgot about the fucking chat. Apologies. I forgot about the separate thing. I was literally like...
No, so yeah, the new chat channels have already been a problem.
Oh, that's
shit.
hilarious.
But no,
That's
yeah, you'll
actually
learn. You'll learn.
hilarious.
It's fine. Let's new setup.
Fine.
New setup. But it means you guys can hear them easier, and I can adjust their volume now. I just have to not be a fucking moron.
Adjust their volume. First thing he does, mutes us.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
I have a slider for you fuckers. I can do it whenever I want. I have a button as well. You know what, you...
Did he mute himself? That's
Did he mute
Wait.
himself?
There's
I
the...
think he muted himself. That's so.
Hello? Is it working now? There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Ah, the
You said-
beep button doesn't actually beep. God,
You said you said you fuck, and then you just went mute.
Oh god, this couldn't be better.
I am completely...
Couldn't be better.
You'll learn. You're not a VTuber if it's not scuffed.
It's very scuffed. So the beep button doesn't beep, it just temporarily mutes me. It's a cough button, I
Can
guess. Fuck.
Can they definitely hear us now?
Let's find out.
Let me unmute the stream.
You sound fucked.
Hello, hello, testing.
You sound fucked.
Testing
I am
again.
literally your god.
Testing again.
Can you hear
I
him?
can hear you, it's fine. It's
Okay.
working.
Is it working? Okay, it's working now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
I
God.
can't believe I didn't say this. I completely forgotten. What the fuck's the website where you change your Discord like profile picture to
Fuji's?
streams? Fuji, there we go.
Fuji, unless
I
you
think
want
it's
your,
named
unless you want your VTuber on here, and I'll just do the collab feature if you really want.
I've not fixed it yet.
I think it's named after like a former Twitch employee that made it.
Boogie.
Wait, have I got this monitored?
So yeah, do we want to quickly go over everything we said while muted?
Right, there we go. It's not a monitor. It's not you going through twice. I heard you echoing. I was like, why are you echoing? And I realized, aha. Okay. I'll just summarize. Last time, nearly blended the fuckers. New stabby man got stabbied a lot and has third-degree burns.
I got cooked, bro.
Literally cooked, and then cooked as well.
Actually,
So, the party of the Cronus Nox are currently in recovery and indoctrination. Sort of. They've known a little bit of forbidden law now. It's just been hypnotically put into their brains. And have been assessed for their corruption, deviancy, and other things.
They obviously didn't assess very well because I'm corrupted as shit.
I picked up Forbidden Law chess. I now know a secret technique to win any tournament.
Yeah,
Butt
you
plug.
punch the guy in the face.
No.
Vibrating butt plug, there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
But, yes. So, one of them is JD Moss. One of them
That's
is
me.
Ada Scarlet.
Ada Scarlet. I will remember his name. Formerly Onyx.
Artist, formerly known as Onyx.
We will eventually progress on the stream, chat, I promise.
Yeah. Or play
Hey, it's
Expedition
padding.
33.
Yeah, that was the most important part.
Yeah.
33.
And if you're not going to play Expedition 33,
Go
watch
fuck yourself.
anything related to Expedition 33. Doesn't
Watch
have to be
JD
mine.
Moss, a pretty, exemplary streamer who you should
I'm
check
really
out
not.
was
I'm
going
really
through
not.
playthrough. He's
Really
currently
not.
playing on the hardest difficulty in the game, and he's absolutely
Yeah,
slamming
it's
it
called
through the
Story.
permadeath run. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
Right.
playing it on story,
Shall
the
we?
hardest difficulty.
Shall we make a start before I neck myself in Minecraft?
That joke didn't even mean anything because they didn't hear the first part where I said I was doing it on story.
They didn't. Even worse.
Anyway,
And I reacted
yeah.
to it like they heard it.
Jesus.
Oh,
We've set ourselves as mentally unwell already, so can everyone gain one insanity point?
Also, more importantly, has it been more than 4 days?
We'll find out.
so, if I can regain my mental faculties,
I'm quite.
I've lost most of them.
Please don't give me one insanity. I literally will hit
So-
20 then.
After the events of the Cronus Nox, the party has, how shall we say, experienced the tender, gentle care of the Emperor's most holy Inquisition. This gentle care involved many needles, psychoanalysis, and many uncomfortable pokes and prods, as well as an assessment of their faith, which may or may not be somewhere closer to torture, potentially. Do they remember all of it? Probably not. But, Comrade, you awake after what you believe to be about maybe a month. You're not sure. The dark room. Comfy enough bed.
Oh, nice.
But you're alone.
Oh, no.
And the door slides open. And out of it pops a familiar face. A certain interrogator. How's my latest prisoner, I mean employee, doing today?
Very, very good, sir.
Wonderful. The Emperor appreciates that answer. Now then, I've got a mission for you. Yes, a job. I know. Crazy. Sounds like you're employed by the Inquisition.
I laugh really, really stiltedly. Ha 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 ha.
I'm glad you find it funny. Wonderful. Now, do your legs still work, or do we have to drag you onto your new ship? I say your new ship. The ship you're going to be using for operations going forward.
I quickly stand up. I'm like, yep, my legs work 100%, sir.
Fantastic. I thought the Ogren was going to be required.
No ogre needed, sir.
Wonderful. Follow along, then. Don't worry, we've put all of your kit in your new lodgings. Good news,
Very well.
you're already on the ship.
What?
Yes, you've been
Okay.
out that long.
Okay,
I made
sir.
certain of it.
How long was I out for, sir?
About 3 days.
Fuck.
He's still paranoid. He's still critically paranoid.
Don't worry if you feel a bit of ache, a bit of pains. That's normal. We had to check you. You were a little impure, you see, so we had to check how impure you were. Your friend,
still
the
impure?
Psyker... Oh, yes, you are.
Oh,
You'll
right.
redeem your soul to the Emperor soon. Your friend, the Psyker, was a bit more advanced. So he's been sent to special lodgings on my ship for now.
Okay, sir. Does that mean I have a different crew that I'm working with this time
He
around?
will be returned to you, eventually. But you will be gaining a new friend. Oh, yes, and the asset. Yeah, you're not getting him back. He needs extensive surgery. And I think we might mind wipe him. Honestly. Might be easier.
Very well, sir.
Don't worry about it. It's to help him forget the pain of the insane burns he came back with. I swear, one operation, and he's already completely roasted. He should be thankful. I'm going to have his skin regrafted on. At least we're going to do that for him. Otherwise, I might just remove the organ with my bare hands and put it in someone else. Oh, is that out loud? I always do that. Anyway, don't you worry about that. He'll be fine. He
Yes,
walks you
sir.
over to a crew quarters area. You have your own room, by the way, don't worry. I'm not a complete monster.
Ooh.
It's even furnished.
What?
I know. Don't worry, we found lots of fresh furniture from somewhere for you. You'll recognise it, I think.
Oh no.
It's just the medical room. It's like blood slabs.
Oh, and just so you know, many of the crew are, how should we say, very veteran, actually, very professional. You'll like them. You know them already, actually.
Okay.
Well, we couldn't just leave so many experienced hands on the Cronus, now could we?
Oh gosh, you went back to the Cronus?
Also, Judas, my boy, thank you so much for the sub tier 1. Holy shit,
Fuck,
that's
I
really,
thought
really
I
kind of
blew
you, my
that
friend.
motherfucker up.
You blew up like a large part of it.
Fuck, they survived? Shit!
Yes, thank you for the sub, my boy. Yes, we brought them along. Well, we brought about 60% of them along.
Feel like there was many people there that were not that we liked that wasn't dead or corrupted.
Oh, we killed a lot of them.
They got the medical staff. They got Like the captain turned traitor.
Oh,
Or was he the
yes.
sergeant?
You also really could have done with leaving at least some of the officers alive, but, I mean, is what it is. I mean, we found one of them, actually, the head of communications. He's in his same role.
The head of communications lived.
Yes, he lived. He was found shivering in a corner, and after therapy and a few probings, he became very compliant.
Okay. I mean, Emperor.
He doesn't remember his own name, admittedly, but that's fine. We gave him a new one.
That's fine. I didn't remember it either.
Oh, we did actually find the... yeah, we did find what was left of the first mate. Yeah, we couldn't really use him.
Yeah.
We couldn't find his skin
enough for
either.
a servitor.
The skin just kind of wandered off.
We managed to scrape the other operative you with off the fucking walls.
Didn't we leave a guy that was like borderline dead at some point? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
we found a few people. I mean, we didn't find that sergeant. Did you see that sergeant? You know, the one that supposedly had a blade of heretical origin?
No, I ran away from that guy. Or didn't want to interact with that guy.
Well, somehow he avoided you, he avoided the explosion, and he avoided the 25 red hunters we sent.
Oh, that's worrying.
Yes, very.
Hopefully he's not holding a grudge. I didn't blow up his
probably.
ship.
Means they took him with them.
Oh.
Probably.
Is that our next mission?
Of course it isn't.
Thank gosh.
No. You'll be getting briefed shortly, before I leave your ship, because it smells awful here.
Very well. I
He
salute
points
him.
you towards a room. I'm not in the military, calm down.
You're kind of above it.
Exactly. It's great. Now, into that room. And remember, I am merely the interrogator. You answer to a higher power. But you answer to me first.
The Emperor. Got it.
Oh! Yes, of course. But also the actual Inquisitor.
Oh.
No, you thought I was it. Oh, no. I'm far too nice.
Are we ever gonna meet him? Or her? Or them?
That depends. Do you intend to fuck up really bad, or do you intend to do a good job?
Good job.
Then it might be a while, but you'll eventually meet him.
Okay, it is a him. Got it.
Oh yes, don't worry. If you meet the Master early, that means you've made a really, really big mistake, and I've made a mistake as well, which won't go well. But you'll definitely die.
Okay, I will try and complete the mission to the best of my ability.
Very good. Well, what do they say in the guard? Carry on? Something like that? I don't know. Officer. Anyway, go and
Your wayward
bother
son.
him.
Cool.
And he just walks down the hall.
Yeah, I'll go introduce my... Well, I guess... Yeah, I'll probably introduce myself to the people there. Because although they were on the ship, pretty sure they never met me. Because all those people who met me died.
Yeah, there are a few. The corporal you found with one arm now has a bionic and is a sergeant.
Oh, nice! Congrats on the promotion!
Yeah. I guess you put a good word in for me or something? Big
I've
red
been
guy
out for like a month.
Oh. Well, something must have happened. An actual angel turned up and helped me. I say
Yeah,
that, he gunned down about half of the guys who looked a bit funny looking, but then he dragged me off, so... And then I woke up with a new arm, so, hey.
I've been threatened many times. Apparently, you should not call the evil angels dark angels. Apparently, that's bad.
Yeah,
Just
they
a
mentioned you
heads
kept
up.
saying that.
What
No,
else
what's
do you
about, but...
call an evil angel? Dark angel?
I guess. I don't know. They said something about there's another Astartes chapter, whatever that means, with one. Is that name?
Apparently the dark angels are on our side.
Yeah.
Which is very weird. Also, don't call them blood angels either, even though they loved blood and spilling it.
Oh, I've heard of them guys. They're really nice.
Yeah.
All blonde. For some reason.
Apparently, you don't call them. There's a lot of insert thing, then angels.
They are the Emperor's angels,
they
after
are.
all.
Exactly. Anyway, apparently you're gonna be like helping us with this mission.
Oh,
or
me?
At least
No.
mentoring us?
He points to another room. The smell of chemicals leaving it. Over there!
Oh,
That guy. We're staying here as backup.
are you sure that it can't be you instead?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm not equipped for this, for the subtle operations of the Inquisition. However, I am equipped to be a ship hand if we get boarded or do boarding. Do you have fine with that?
Right. Let's go meet the new person. I'll walk into the room.
All right. Can Janice
Do you want
introduce?
to take over for the description as well?
Go for it. Makes my job easy.
Rightio, no worries. As the heavy set, not quite bulkhead, but compartmental door hisses open, you are greeted almost immediately by two things of severe note. One is the cloying scent of obscura smoke rolling into your nostrils, and the second is a steady tap hammering of metal on stone. The room itself is somewhat obscured by the narcotic smoke that roils across it. Incense burners alight in the gloom, masking both the slim figure sat beside a half-human figure carved of marble, and it as well masking the likely imperfections in what might otherwise be a great degree of ornate furniture and drapery that adorn the whole place. Head kind of cocking slowly towards you as the door enters. You're greeted by the visage of a bright-looking youth, bedraggled only slightly by sweat clinging to his hair and having it fall down his forehead. He takes a moment, drags a cloth to his cheek and wipes before turning to you properly and shooting you what would maybe be a charming, handsome smile if his eyes didn't appear unfocused, clouded, perhaps. Hi, I understand that you're the new operatives. Well, operative.
Well, I was going to say, there's only one of me. As far as I know. Are you the person I'll be working with?
Yes, the name's Janus de Lavore. Count Janus de Lavore if you want to, be one of those people. But,
a
it's
noble.
not really my thing.
La-di-da.
Noble for a backwater feudal world, it doesn't really matter. My rank means nothing here, that's for certain. And he kind of he takes a step forward, wipes some his hand, one hand's covered in like marble dust that he wipes away again with a cloth before offering it for you to shake.
Yeah, I'll shake it. I got no reason not to.
Yeah, the remaining dregs of the Obscura are too light at the moment to intoxicate you at all or offer too much. They're just at the moment uncomfortable.
Just I'll mutter.
Reference, the easiest comparison is basically heroin.
Yeah, I mean, I'll mutter under my breath like, trading one drug addict for another. Great.
Breaking Bad music starts playing.
Well, because I have technically traded one drug addict for another drug addict.
Oh.
At least the last guy did drugs to win fights. This guy is just being a fucking stoner.
Also, the other guy could have killed us in the drug induced rage that he would go into.
Potato.
Sure. Anyway, I'll just be like, right. So, I think it's fair to introduce ourselves, talk about our skills. You've introduced yourself first, so I'll do it as well. I'm Conrad Brine. I'm a former soldier.
Always want my pieces.
I specialize in sniping enemies from large distances. I'm pretty good at using tech, and I'm proficient in at least operating most vehicles, if not all vehicles.
Okay. Conrad, then. Nice to meet you. Me, I'm, you might... You might find me a little lacking in the field operative department. In truth, I'm... a scholar, is the easiest term. A little bit on the esoteric side of things. But you'll find that I have a pretty much all-encompassing knowledge of pretty much everything. So I'm happy to be a repertoire of information in any way that I can help. I also, he kind of rolls his hands between his fingers for a second, am a little bit of a... let's say psychically gifted individual. Though many
Great.
would argue it is curse rather than gift.
Another one. Great. Cool. What kind of psychic powers do you have? Can you shoot lightning out your hands? You one of those kinds of ones?
Not quite. I'm just remarkably convincing.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Do you have any idea what our mission is?
Not a clue. This is the first mission I will have been sent on as a proper operative. At the moment, I've been mainly handling information and the like. He pauses for a second before, like, stumbling over this, like, cluster of, like, sculpting, like, materials and tools, before rolling back in, like, a recliner chair and pulling an auto pistol from the side. Intricately carved. He looks like he's been carving a set of grips that are on the table, made of what looks like real wood, or maybe, but they seem unfinished. And as he's talking to you, he quickly starts screwing on a set of normal, like, plasteel grips instead. Kind of they're patterned, like you see a lot of modern guns with them being kind of, like, crisscrossed with, like, embedding.
Fancy gun?
I, work on it as a pastime.
Do you know how to use it?
In theory.
In practice?
I've read all the manuals, and I've done some test shooting. Other than that, yeah.
I see. They somehow were able to get somebody that was more of a rookie than me. Great.
I like the casual hostility. It's very sweet.
Oh,
So...
I'm not hostile to you. I'm just annoyed that they didn't think to put us with a more experienced person for our first mission.
It's likely their most experienced operatives are doing work elsewhere. We're a very, very busy organization, I believe.
I'm sure.
Sometimes you have to make do with what tools you have to hand, even if some are fresh, or even if some are damaged goods.
Well, I fit both of those criteria, so I guess you must be true. It must be true what you're saying. Right, how are we getting this mission information? Is somebody coming to inform us, or is there a data slate we gotta read?
As to perhaps punctuate the point, a very familiar servo skull enters the room.
Oh, it's AB.
Greetings, acolytes. If you would come with me.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Janus kind of very clumsily lifts himself from his chair. He stumbles for a second. What obscure he's taken semi-recently still wearing off as he kind of follows after you, head hanging low. You note he pulls out a long kind of like silver filigreed blade that he sets to one side and fastens at his hip, and then stows the pistol into a belt at his side.
So, obviously, the name of the ship, by the way, I will leave you guys to decide that as a group. It is going to be your home for the foreseeable future.
The common grounds.
But there
No.
are no common grounds.
The common space.
Nah, I reckon it's worth having the full party here when we're thinking of a name.
The
Yeah.
litany of litanies litany.
For now, it shall be the Twilight Spear. For now. Be its temporary name until you come up with one. 84B then turns to as he's sort of floating, sort of still moving forward as he does so. The Twilight Spear, as the current designation of the ship, is a light cruiser, though up-armed far above standard protocol. You should find it accommodating and also fairly protective. It has also had modifications to its Geller field to allow for faster warp travel. Courtesy of the Inquisitor himself, of course.
That's nice of them.
I believe he said they came from Titan, though I find no records of this.
I don't know what that means.
Furthermore, this vessel contains a training area, combat simulations, a full cogitator suite, and various recovered relics from the Cronus Nox stored within a inbuilt repository for various artifacts, be it holy or unholy. The STC is currently being stored within that in a high-capacity vault. Pending study from the Mechanicus assets you recovered from last mission, who is currently present and will now be the head tech priest aboard this vessel.
Fancy.
The navigators from the Cronus Nox were unrecoverable, so new navigators have been brought for this vessel.
Yeah, I didn't even think about what happened to the navigator.
Dead.
As most things from there are.
Potentially. The Cronus Nox did enter the warp space about 22 minutes after the Red Hunters left. How it did so remains unknown.
I was gonna say, didn't we blow up its engine?
Correct.
Well, it's not our problem. How many people are gonna be on the ship?
The ship's current crew complement has a maximum capacity of, calculating, 125,000, but currently has roughly 95,000, not including
I see.
supporting menial staff.
I see. Do you know our mission?
Negative.
Okay.
You shall be briefed shortly. As you get on a sort of tram-like system, though unlike the Nox, this one is well maintained and very rapidly takes you to your destination, somewhere closer to the bridge. As you exit, you find yourselves in a command room where the interrogator, along with the Ogren he threatened to use earlier, and about 4 or 5 stormtroopers, that's Imperial stormtroopers, not Star Wars, excuse me, is awaiting your arrival. And then, yes, chat, the Tangier is turned off just for this stream, as usual. I should probably put that as a thing in the chat, actually. Anyway. Yeah, looks at the both of you. Ah, finally! You're here. I thought we were going to have to drag you over here, especially you, Janice.
He kind of coughs lightly, and like purple haze rolls off his lips and falls onto the floor. I was busy studying. Apologies.
Studying, yes. Studying. Well. Well, I'd say we need to catch you up to speed. You see, there's a problem. A small problem. Just a little potential of heresy, you see. Rather concerning heresy. As such, we are going to be deploying you fairly immediately to the forge world of Higaton Primaris. This world is fairly important to the Imperium for a few very key reasons. It is this sector, the Higaton sector. Yes, we've travelled since your last outing. Quite far. About 25 light years away from the Cronus. When it was last seen anyway. And this world is fairly important due to its, how shall we say, repository and production of Lehman Russ Vanquisher. Why can't I say Vanquish? Vanquisher. Fuck me, Vanquisher cannons. There. Along with the munitions and shell, all the rest around such a vessel. It's a tanky. Excuse me. It also produces many of the servo motors and various movement systems utilized in no less than Imperial Knights. Now tell me, gentlemen, what do you know about an Imperial Knight? Do you even know what I'm talking about right now?
Not a clue.
Well then, I'll take that as Janice doesn't know either.
He kind of raises an eye. I've done my studying. Large frame mechanical devices originally intended for agriculture during and following on from the Great Crusade and birth of humanity across the stars, I believe. Currently, a lot of...
They're a bit older than that. They predate the Crusade, my friend. So they say.
What's the Crusade?
Humanity. He kind of it's like he's tarting off something that's like it's very rote and trite. An expression upon the Emperor for humanity to conquer the stars, spread across the galaxy, and take all within its territories.
We can talk about the founding of the glorious Imperium another time, perhaps. So all you need to know is it was when our glorious Emperor took to the stars and took what was rightfully ours. But, no. These vessels of war, these mighty vehicles, are very rare, difficult to produce, but imperative to our cause. It's the cause of the Imperium. But also imperative that they don't fall to traitor hands. An Imperial Knight could potentially level a good majority of an Imperial Guard regiment alone. Without any super heavy support, they would die. As such, this planet's potential for heresy must be addressed immediately. Otherwise, there's a very real chance you may be staring down the barrel of a traitorous knight. Not something you want to be doing. Not something the Imperium wants either. I'm sure you can appreciate why now you're being sent.
It seems concerning, and yes, of course.
Quite. Now, you'll be deployed to the Forge World in secret. We're not going in guns blazing for this one. As such, much of your more violent methods of how to be dealing with problems must be stowed and sent at a later date when we can safely get it through customs. Because you're going into Mechanicum jurisdiction, and as much as the Inquisition has, of course, jurisdiction here, there are some forces in the Imperium you must handle with a delicate glove. The Mechanicus are one such force. As such, you will be sent there quietly. In fact, we're currently lining up a very quiet interception. You're going to quietly board a transport vessel en route to the planet. From there, you're going to sneak your way past customs and to a safe house. All of this will be put into a data slate for you to review, as he slides a data slate across to you. In it is the encryption key for your safe house, along with, once you're in the safe house, a key will be provided within there to a number of assets that you may reach out to at limited times of day, I must stress. There is a brief window in this planet where the Mechanicum's new sphere doesn't quite reach. And that's when you can send a Vox signal without them noticing. They're aware of the dead zone, however, fixing it would be heresy, because they believe that's how it was intended to work. Now, I don't profess to know the Mechanicus's unique take on faith, but we will use their superstitions to our advantage. Any questions?
Right. Let's see.
There is more to this briefing, don't worry.
And then I might wait until given a bit more information. There's some queries, but they might be answered.
Very well, no questions on what we've said so far. Fine by me. Now, you're probably asking, do we have suspects? Yes, we do. Your suspects are as followed. There are 3, currently. Planetary Governor notwithstanding, of course. In the Forge itself, there is the Magos Dominus Avril Kane and Enforcer Captain Marcus. Those 2 are of some suspicion. We are concerned that the Magos may be experimenting with perverse archaeotech and maybe even Xenos technologies. He's also professed a need for innovation, something that the Mechanicus sect highly disapproves of, if not outright condemns as techno-heresy. We are involved due to the fact that this techno-heresy could involve in very valuable assets. He is perhaps one of the highest authorities on the planet, barring the governor themselves. So he is one to watch. The Enforcer Captain is the head of all law enforcement within the primary forge area. The planet is divided into a single massive forge, and the wilds outside, where the local knights of House Raven patrol and test their skills hunting great beasts. Regarding the Night House, the tech adept Marius Aurelius is your other suspect. Adept Aurelius is, how shall we say, an outward-spoken individual, as he is a bastard born of nobility. Janus, I'm sure you're quite aware what that means in any sort of semi-feudal society, and think of the Imperial Night World as a feudal society much like where you came from, except their kings and knights don Titanic battle plate rather than plate mail. But you should understand the gist.
Bitter in his look when you say that. But his eyes kind of cast to one side and he keeps listening.
Now, this individual is, how shall we say, they are currently being looked into already due to them trying to steal an Armiger-class knight. You may ask how, if you're aware of how they're controlled, and It appears, well, for one, the smaller knights don't have the same rituals required to use them.
And they weren't put to the sword for that?
Well, there's an issue of they have the favour of the Magos because this adept managed to innovate. You see, there are a few old marks of various automata and other things on the planets that the Mechanicus simply are no longer able to get working. He got one such automata working. The Majo saw this and has put favour towards him, ordering him to be pardoned of all crimes. House Raven is a loyal follower of the Mechanicus, and in fact their knightly house is directly sworn to the Mechanicus, you have to understand. They all have oaths, you see. Their oaths are to Mars, not to Terra. So begrudgingly, House Raven have accepted this demand and pardoned Aurelius. However, the Inquisition has not. I suspect this may happen again. What I fear is this little innovator finds a way to innovate his way past a throne mechanicum and get a full-fledged knight moving. If it were up to me, I'd have you put him to the sword. However, it's not up to me. If this is simply just a petty noble spat, that is what it is. However, if it is not, you know what you must do. All three of these are to be considered potential heretics. Trust nothing they say, investigate every claim they make, and double-check any involvement with them. Now, you'll be inserted in the next 48 to 72 standard Terran hours, so if there are any questions, now is your time.
Anything we should note culturally about the planet? Personal beliefs, what attitudes and personalities are respected, and the like?
Well, of course, being a Forge world, they appreciate efficiency, they appreciate decisiveness, and of course adherence to Martian scripture. The planet is a very dedicated to Mars Forge world, donning the red and views of Mars. They haven't deviated much. So expect a lot of the things you would expect from a Martian tech priest, especially a Martian one. House Raven themselves, again, they respect honor, discipline, and have an adherence to the creed of the Omnissiah. A little bit before the Emperor directly, though they claim he's one and the same. So, not exactly heresy, but depends how you view Mars. So, decisiveness and those who are efficient are certainly preferable to them. Obviously, the knightly house is a little bit more honour, chivalry, nobility as well. And other than that, culturally, the planet's a bit divided in two. The heavily industrial Forge World end, and the wilds outside, where the knights are a little more free to do as they will, but it is intended to be security, because some of the creatures on that planet are truly massive, hence why they are there, and also there as practicing for their new aspirants. Any hopefuls or any upcoming youngsters in their house are sent there quite often to train and eventually, one day, take on their own war machine. Other than that, expect your usual from a hive or forge city. Pretty much. Crime is pretty high in various places, but punishment is also as severe as you should expect. Though the amount of sentencing to servitization is higher. They don't tend to take prisoners there, they take servitors. So be mindful not to get on the wrong side of the law, else your time with the Inquisition will be short, as we can't quite save you in time from how quickly their judges will deem you fit to be lobotomized.
It's a very slight smile for Janus. Assuming you'd see the saving in the first place, of course.
Well, if you get yourselves caught, that's another matter. We have to, of course, deny your involvement. It's bad luck, after all. But also, Mechanicus' trial is about 30 minutes. And they assume guilt. Of course. Any other questions?
Right. Do some quick studying on the Lex Mechanum on the way in. No problem.
Indeed. There is, of course, an Arbites garrison, as always, as this world's tithes are very important, though don't expect much help from them.
By the nature of the planet, I was thinking about cultural norms and like before, when it comes to armaments, I assume, as with many things, it's very likely what investigations we action might go a tad awry. What could we get away with transferring both in secret and carrying openly?
Through customs, very little. Once you're on the planet, walking around, as long as you don't approach any of the major production facilities or Nightly House, you are free to carry whatever you like, though obviously be cautious. Having weapons out is, of course, a good intimidation factor. It is also a good invitation for violence, as I'm sure you know. Though, considering the nature of what could be down there, we will be sending your weapons over, but many of your more hard-hitting weapons may need to be sent separately. He turns to Conrad. Your long lads in particular is going to be difficult to get through with you.
Very well.
But we will send it. Fear not. It just may take a few days.
If that's what's needed.
Very good. Unless there's any other questions, I shall be vacating your vessel post haste. By your vessel, I mean the vessel you are being loaned.
Of course.
This vessel is not to be involved, by the way. Unless, well, even I can authorize it. And before you ask, no, the means of planetary exterminators are not aboard your vessel. They're aboard mine.
I didn't even think we'd have permission to have that kind of stuff.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, of course not.
This ship is a bit upgunned for what it should be, but will do. If anything, it's more to avoid another incident like with the Nox. Oh,
Fair
and
enough.
one other thing. This is a side little bit of the operation, but keep note of anything relating to the phrase, "Does the serpent know?"
If only we had a guy still alive with us who might make some kind of connection.
Exactly. Technically, I know nothing about that.
Janus kind of nods slightly.
Very good. Your safe house is equipped with a cogitator, by the way.
That's handy.
Good to know. We'll have access to local data banks, law enforcement, any English databases saved there locally.
There is a repository of known criminal elements on the planet, as well as notes taken by operatives prior to you who were there to scout. Some of those operatives have gone missing, by the way, so if you find them, that would be very good. But not important to the mission. More for my own personal confirmation. That's in missing operatives and lots of paperwork.
Eyes kind of losing their unfocused, slight glaze. He kind of nods to Conrad and then nods back. Would you mind doing a quick review, a summary of our mission objectives? We have the details, but a blanket statement overview might be helpful.
Your short version of this is quite simple. You are to jump down to the planet. You are to investigate for any signs of heresy, especially pertaining to any modifications illegally to Imperial Knights, and to ascertain if whether the three individuals mentioned are conspiring to perform any kind of heretical rites, or are in connection with the phrase, "Does the serpent know?" All being well, it should be a very quick operation for you. Within about a month's time, you'll be back on your ship.
So it's entirely possible that we go down there, we investigate, and the answer is none of them are doing anything heretical.
Absolutely. However, innocence means nothing in the Inquisition.
What does that mean in terms of our mission?
It means just because they look innocent doesn't mean they are.
Oh well, yeah, of course. Of course.
At least that's the version I'm let you believe anyway. Right, well, I'm going. If you need me, contact your vessel and have a message relayed via astropath. The cogitator has the means to contact your vessel, but try to do so within certain windows. I don't need tech priests poking around our Vox network.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and whatever you do, don't let your hideout get discovered. Mars is a very difficult thing to negotiate with at the best of times, and infiltrating a hideout illegally onto one of their worlds is a tremendous difficulty and a tremendous diplomatic incident.
We'll make sure that if that happens, we make it so that you can deny everything.
Wonderful,
And say that-
because we will.
Perfect.
Anyway, I'm going. Let me know when the job is done, though I think something tells me I'll know when it is.
With our track record, probably.
Him, the stormtroopers, and the Ogren all leave and proceed to head towards the docking bays. As from where you are now, you can see that his vessel, which is significantly larger than yours, is actually docked to your ship. Below you, you can see the planet. Mostly quite green, actually, bar one grey, fiery eyesore being the Forge. Which, for a comparison to a real-life city, probably looks somewhere between the combination of New York and Tokyo times 2, as far as spread. With towers raising higher than probably some of the mountains. They probably would loom over Everest, in some regards. The plumes of smoke even higher.
And the rest of it's just green.
Pretty much. A bit of blue.
Cool. Cool.
Janus kind of lightly shunts Conrad at his side. As he got the maxim wrong.
What do you mean?
It's innocence proves nothing. The origin of it isn't particularly clear, but he got the quote wrong.
I see. I mean, he could have been quoting something personal to him.
It's a common inquisitorial maxim.
Yeah, but maybe. I mean, I've heard that each Inquisitor is different, and is different, right? Maybe this one has a different phrase that they parrot.
Still off. Strange. You
I mean,
narrow his eyes a little bit.
I didn't really know what he meant by it, because does it mean that like we have to get rid of one of them? Like one of them is heretical and we have to get rid of them, or does it mean
often used in conjunction with something else? It's innocence proves nothing is then also argued against with there is no such thing as innocence, only degrees of guilt, wherein innocence isn't real. The idea behind innocence proves nothing is that we can deem someone guilty even if they actually are innocent. We don't actually care in theory.
So they just don't really care if we kill one of these suspects, even if they're good.
ish. It's the kind of it's the kind of judgment an inquisitor would make rather than an acolyte. But
Okay.
in theory, yes. Yeah, the whole the way all of this is organized is very strange.
So is this serpent thing he mentioned? Is that like a normal thing? Is that a heretical thing that I should know about?
I've It's not something I'm directly aware of. Serpents are often associated with demons or forms of devils in a lot of imperial/human folklore. So we could make the injunction it'd be some kind of heresy.
So it's probably chaos related.
Most likely, can't really confirm. It could just be a different belief system as well. There are non-chaos aligned belief systems that are also inherently non-imperial that believe in other deities of the like. They're pretty much always, when he kind of makes like a chopping motion for a sec.
Yeah. If they're not,
Unless you can push them over to going, oh no, that guy is our. Which is pretty common among a lot of monotheistic religions the Imperium tends to encounter. There's records of it that date back, for 15,000 years, give or take.
I see. And there's no recorded like snake aliens then.
At a guess, maybe if you go by the body type alone, 78.
Right. So it could be Xenos then.
Yes, as well. It could be anything. That's the issue.
Do
We
you
can't really
know
narrow it down.
what we specialize in? Like the Inquisitor we're working for. I heard that they specialize.
I know of different ordos, but I don't know which one our employer would technically fall under. They also could fall outside of an ordo. There are also the major and minor ones. Possible we're at a non-major one, so as Hereticus, the Xenos, and the Malleus. We could also be part of maybe the Ordo Extremis, the Ordo Puritus, the Ordo Mechanicus. That's a weird one.
I mean, that would make sense, seeing as we're dealing with Mechanicus stuff, right?
There's the Ordo Astartes, which sounds like a really horrible position to be in.
The Ordo Groxius, dedicated almost entirely to ensuring that specifically ties of Grox meat are kept within proper health.
I see.
Very
I
strange.
don't think we're part of that one.
It's feasibly possible.
Don't see how. I guess maybe if you have military, you can keep the place safe so that you can keep the meat transportation going. Yeah, I could see the logic.
There's like 32 ones based specifically around time travel.
That doesn't exist, surely.
It depends on who you follow scientifically or philosophically.
I don't really follow anyone scientifically.
I mean, we have recorded evidence of time travel objectively, usually
What?
by mistakes rather than active accidents. There are ships in the warp who have their calendars dated 2 years ahead of when they arrived at a place previously. There are several instances of Imperial Guard ships being sent out and having simultaneously also arrived prior to when they were sent out at the location they need to arrive at.
I guess
Very strange.
technically I've been part of it when that warp jump happened. Anyway, I guess we should get ready, figure out a game plan.
I suppose. I'm a little unsure at the moment how we're going to get about being able to even inspect or take a look at these knights. We might. A month is a very short time allowance as well. We don't have enough time to set down routes to establish.
I always stress he said it may
Oh.
take a month. He never said an actual time frame.
Yeah. But like my impression, he's going to show up in a month and be like, "Hey, chief, you got anything?" So that on its own is a very narrow time frame. We don't have enough time, or would have enough time, to establish any cells, or
No.
realistically pick up any reliable informants. So it'll primarily be a primary source investigation. We're taking a look at this directly ourselves, I believe.
Yeah, I've always had the impression that when dealing with like trying to find information, the best thing to do is to start at like the basic workers. But the problem is, I think the most of the basic workers in this place are servitors.
There's a very small and slightly wry smile there. Doesn't mean you can't interrogate them.
I don't feel like you can interrogate them, can you?
They have memory cores to understand what they're doing, therefore you can pull information out of it with proper
Yeah, but
translating.
is it interrogating to take out a memory core and decode it?
It's a form of interrogation.
Technically
it's more-
interrogating the memory core.
I guess technically. I just don't really think of like it's functionally the same as like hacking a computer, hacking a cogitator or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't count that as interrogating, but it doesn't matter. It's a difference in words. Doesn't really matter. I don't know how we're gonna get even remotely close to any of our targets. All of them seem to be in like the highest form of, well, all but one seem to be in the highest form of authority on that place.
It might be something you have to figure out planet side, unfortunately. Let's see.
Sadly, I'm
the
not.
night houses will be blood aligned, so we can't even try and move in as anyone that feels able to pilot a night as a recruit.
No.
I'm aware that some night houses recruit out of their non-royal houses, instead having their definition of royal or knightly be capability rather than blood. I don't believe it was mentioned whether or not this one was the case, so I would argue to the opposite.
I also don't think either of us are skilled enough to not only be able to use one, but also use one better than the people who've been trained to use one.
Still an inn.
I mean, it could have been, but
You
they
would
surely
at best
test
be able
us.
to work with an Armiger class, a full-on Questoris class. Probably not, unless you want to risk a ritual of coming.
Yeah.
There's no requirement for proficiency as long as a low level should at least get us in the door.
My thinking would be if they were trying to get people in and they were basing their noble heritage on ability, either they'd get somebody really young in and then train them, or they'd want pre-established really good people to join them. We are neither.
And we don't need to get in. It just allows us a method to get in contact with people that are of value, rather than just working with the lowest of the low.
I guess I can see the logic there.
We don't need victory. At least not in that regard.
I find it very unlikely that we're going to be able to get near the head of the security or the head of effectively the forge in anytime soon, because they're going to be, so far up that we can't really talk to them.
Yeah, speaking of which, I might need to be a little bit careful in that regard. I'd be concerned about contraband or cybernetic scanners built into forge worlds like this. Well, large forge manufactorums like this. He kind of nods and then brings up a piece of cloth to wipe at his arm, and it reveals like a crisscross of like circuitry that runs under his skin.
Okay.
Purple stains on it. They are unlikely to take kindly to non-sanctioned cybernetic modification.
I imagine they also don't take kindly to psychic people.
Yeah, but that I can hide.
True. I
I'm
mean,
unlikely to be constantly scanning for. So that becomes a small concern. I might keep myself out of the way of scanners, or maybe just avoid things here and there.
Well, I mean, we're trying to avoid checkpoints anyway, so that should be, I mean, not that much harder in the scheme of things. I do worry that we are not 100% made for this kind of thing. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know. I've only just met you.
And you've also met me. Hi. so I will apologize for any differences in my personal proficiency or failures in
fine.
vocabulary and tone.
The last guy I dealt with also was high most of the time while on operation.
Oh, really? That's not trustworthy. You shouldn't be
Uh,
using intoxicants during an operation. That's very concerning.
he used
That
drug.
sounds-
It was drug-induced rages that made him better in combat.
Still a concern. You want to keep all your mental faculties about yourself in an operation. That seems more liability than benefit.
Oh, he almost killed us a couple times while under the rage.
Considering the nature of our interaction, I should make clear to you, I use this recreationally
Okay.
for personal research, um, to which I can't really elaborate on.
Yeah, everyone's
Unfortunately,
got secrets. I don't really
I,
care.
I wouldn't say a secret. I just don't. I mean nothing negative or insulting by this. I just
Oh God.
am not of the opinion that it would benefit you for me to explain.
Ah, that's fine. It's fine. I was with another person who kept a load of information from us as well.
Not like that. It's quite different. I intend to work cooperative with you as much as I feasibly can. This is just something that
It's
uh,
unrelated to the job. It doesn't matter. It really
you know.
doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Do you know the concept of a tulpa or a homunculi?
No, I'll be honest. I don't.
He kind of like quirks his eye a little bit, like as if to like he's proving his point, but like really he just sounds kind of like an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, this Conrad's completely agreed with you. He's just like, yeah, it's not related to me. I don't care.
It's
Not
the
related
tone.
to the
He's
mission.
getting concerned.
What's your motherfucking tone?
Look, I've worked surprisingly, even though I'm quite green when it comes to working with the Inquisition, I've worked with a lot of weird people, and I've learned to just accept them and move on. They got
I believe
secrets. Who cares?
I believe that's just the nature of working in the Inquisition.
Well, I didn't know I was working in the Inquisition then.
Indeed. So, how would you two like to spend your next probably 48 hours?
He's gonna he kind of gives you a nod. Do you have anything you intend to do? We'll be settling out pretty quickly. Any goodbyes? Any last recreational activities?
The only other person I know on this place is in therapy at the moment.
Quite a common occurrence.
Yeah, I think they're kind of just he's quite weird, so I can see why. Um, very good asset though. Great person to have with us. Bit weird. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anyone else. I mean, most of the people that I know are actually on this ship.
Oh, interesting. I admit I have not really spoken to anyone. I've been a bit secluded. I get papers to work through and I get documents to follow up on, and that's been about it, really.
Hmm.
All
Well,
of my furnishings have been self-acquired on Stop Off by trading in art.
well, hopefully this mission goes smoothly and we come back in one piece. My track record is not good at the moment. Just a heads up.
I fear it might not improve.
Oh, this is just a small investigation. I'm sure it'll be fine. Worst case scenario, we get arrested by the Mechanicus and turned into servitors. We're technically alive then.
Under his breath, you kind of hear. Blessed is the mind too small for death.
Indeed.
Before he kind of rolls his shoulders a little bit. I might return to my work then and review our briefings to make sure I'm all proverbially clued up on where we're going. And perhaps a strange request. Could I have your blood, your skin, your fingernails, or your hair? An eyelash would also do.
Am I allowed to ask why?
Oh, of course. in case we have any technical problems, I will be able to communicate with you otherwise. Having a binding agent makes it a little bit easier. He kind of taps his head. Like I said, I'm very convincing and also capable of communicating through the barriers of physical space.
Sure, it's not the weirdest thing somebody's asked. Which one do you prefer?
Any or work, I'll make a reliquary out of them. Well, of a kind.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a piece of my hair.
He kind of nods, and then you see him just bite off his fingernail and just pass it to you.
Oh, thank you.
If you be kind to keep it to hand, it provides us a form of psychic link, almost,
Cool.
but not quite.
I take out my. They're not cigarettes, but they're effectively cigarettes. I forget the name every time.
Death stick.
Low sticks.
Oh, glow stick, sorry.
Death sticks are from Star Wars.
That's Star Wars, fuck.
Like, hey, give me some of them death sticks. Hey.
The low sticks.
And I put it in the box. I put it in the cigarette box, and then I put that in my pocket. There's my reliquary.
Excellent.
They're the things that keep me sane. Most precious things I've got on me.
You still didn't do what that one barbarian did with the Covenant Eye?
Eat it.
Oh no. Didn't eat it.
Oh, I don't want to. It's horrendous.
But anyway, as you both relax and Conrad gets to actually look inside of his room, the furniture is well made. You also think you recognize some of the what appears to be buffed out scars of battle, as it's likely some of this is from the Nox.
They're never going to let me forget that, are they?
But as you do have a very comfortable bed, which doesn't appear to be from that ship.
Oh, that's nice.
The room even has what you're pretty sure is an artificial window, showing a screen of what's outside rather than the actual void of space.
It's like showing like a forest. That's fucking weird. Okay.
Well, maybe make it see other things. But as the days go on, one of you gets considerably high here and there. The other of you,
Hey, I'm not smoking anymore. We're going into a mission.
I've got to sober up for my mission.
I am
Exactly,
smoking.
Exactly that. He does all of this with exact purpose. He only trips for the purpose of creating a tulpa.
I am smoking, but mine's just basic. It's not like heroin. Mine's just tobacco, or the equivalent of it.
This is going to turn to Breaking Bad at some point. Breaking 40k.
Conrad, we need to.
That's probably not a
Conrad
bad campaign, actually. Breaking 40k. It's probably not fucking bad
This
at
is
all.
how
Actually,
we get into the night houses. We sell all these young noblemen drugs.
Look, Conrad's very much going with the whole ignorance is bliss at the moment.
yeah.
Because
Brady Heisenberg.
Because he just does it. He stopped caring. He's like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, whatever. Do whatever you want.
But as the days move on, your rooms both suddenly turn red, and the windows flash the inquisitorial symbol with the words "Report to flight deck AB-25" immediately.
Right. What weapons am I allowed to bring?
Pretty much nothing that isn't a sidearm.
Well, perfect. I can't use sidearms. Well, no, I'm kidding. I think I've got
Well,
I can technically use a las pistol.
you're told to bring everything, but you'll only be able to bring a sidearm to the planet. Knives are also
Cool.
appropriate.
I do not have a sidearm or a knife, so I guess I'm bringing nothing.
Yeah, obviously, you bring your other gear you have with you to the flight deck, and the trooper opens up two kind of like storage containers. I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna be about your weapons for a little bit. Unless they're small, probably get past customs. We're gonna send these to you Don't worry,
Yeah.
we intend to send these to you via orbital insertion when it's at a good time. The planetary
The last
alignment
gun
should
that
be
I have.
about right for it in the next week or two.
Put my void suit in there.
Why the fuck's on your void
By
suit?
the way,
When
entering
you said
into the room, with like there's these hefty, long, like synth ropes, dragging across the floor on like a wheeled cart is Janus sweating as he hauls a human-sized marble sculpture after him.
Why the fuck you brought that?
I might have a contract. This might be beneficial, and also I'm not finished.
You can't take that with you on the transport.
This is to be shuttled out elsewhere.
I'm like, what the? Ah,
Leave it
okay, who
here.
cares?
I'll tell the quartermaster.
Who cares? I just get on the ship.
Yeah. Equipment-wise, what he's trying to bring with him, it is his customized auto pistol. He has unscrewed the silencer and then placed that in a flask of water.
Mhm.
That he's then chucked to one side. He has his sword on a side belt, and he's wearing his more ornate clothing, whilst he stows like a pack of well-made but intentionally tatty-looking rags into his carrying equipment as well. He follows up with a few few tools. For example, we are bringing along he pockets a data slate. He drops a medkit in. He has a flak cloak bundled up and tied into a very neat square that he's placed in. A backpack, magazines for his auto pistol, both standard and toxic. And he also, in a satchel at his side, is bringing up his Emperor's Tarot cards.
Might have put the sword in as well. It's a bit obvious.
Moving to a night world, are we not? Well, of a kind.
You're going into the Forge World bit first. That's where the safe house is.
He looks at the sword again. He's like, out of all these things, it's the only thing I really care to separate from. And he kind of places it into the.
It'll be returned to you. Don't worry. We have very efficient dropping capabilities from this vessel. We can essentially drop anything shy of a chimera down with them. As long as no people are in with them. They're also reusable. Just for efficiency's sake, honestly, there's no other reason.
Interesting. But yeah,
But-
actual kit-wise then, I'll have on me a data slate, my psi focus, and then my best quality clothing, which is just noble robes. With like a
Grim
nice-
Darkness, the 41st
like
Millennium.
cravat.
There is many ads, my friend, unfortunately. Welcome on in.
He looks fancy.
Very
And he's
fancy.
obviously make-upped himself to ensure that all of his cybernetics are covered. They
Indeed.
look like they're pretty much on point to his skin. Extremely close inspection would do him in, but at a glance, he just looks like he's wearing makeup.
Turns to Conrad. Has Conrad kept his armor on, or is he taking it off?
I've taken it off because it's pretty obvious.
I was going to say. Don't worry, all your stuff will be returned to you shortly. However,
Every time you
what
say
you
that,
can
I
without
think it's
it.
not going to.
It's gonna be. You're gonna need it. Some of the interrogator didn't tell you, but I'll be frank with you. You're gonna end up in a firefight at some point down there. It's a matter of when, not if. So, we need you to have these. However, as we're going in quietly to avoid arousing suspicion of us being suspicious, yeah, we can't just bring these in with you. If we're going in loud, then yeah, you could waltz on in with the damn thing. But yeah, once you're down there, you should be fine. Doing a little bit of reconnaissance on the side, we did find that there are a few checkpoints. with AdMech Enforcers. The Mechanicum Enforcers are a little bit harsher, but also generally won't give a hell unless, unless they look like a carking madman. In that case, all bets are off. So as long as you don't run around flinging your weapons everywhere, you should be fine. Be careful when you get to the knights, by the way. Some of them nobles are a bit arrogant and pretty quick to anger on a provocation. Though thankfully honor duels they'll deal with by sword rather than getting in their suit. Can't really have an honor duel with a several ton killing machine, can you? With a chainsaw bigger than a tank. Other than that, best of luck and happy hunting, all that good stuff. If you need us, call the ship. Although we can't actually deploy unless things go really wrong. If the worst comes to it, by the way, this ship is capable of orbital bombardment to a limited degree. I don't think it'll come to that, but I thought I'd make you aware of the capabilities just in case. Any questions, or are you good to go?
Negative. Let's go.
Happy to shuttle out.
Alright. You're going in the non-standard Imperial craft. This is a modified Avis lighter. Bit thinner, bit speedier, and with a few jamming implements in place to make it really hard to detect. Which is also why it's painted jet black. It's harder to spot. Anyway, Emperor protects. Try and get yourselves killed. Then he sort of drags off your belongings, and the quartermaster you see, he looks a bit more ornately dressed, walks on in and looks at your marble statue and slowly puts a hand over his face. Sort of very slowly wipes his hand down to his face as the door of your lighter closes. The fate of your marble statue and your gear in general is in their hands now.
We're not getting that back.
The lighter itself takes off pretty immediately.
I could have brought the auto pistol, right? That was fine to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have the auto pistol then.
You have a pistol.
I've not brought the Tox rounds. I've not brought them in specific.
You are our strongest fighter at this point.
As we kind of like settle down on the shuttle, what arrangements?
What arrangements, sorry?
On our shuttle, how are the seating arrangements and the like?
Think a little more cramped than the Dark Tide of Valkyrie.
Okay.
It wouldn't fit an Ogren, put that way, but thankfully you're not Ogrens, so...
So it's very much dropship style than, like,
yes.
civilian transport style.
Yes. This is very much a modified Inquisition unique pattern of Avis Lander. The entire thing of it is... You could tell this is the kind of thing they drop in some kind of, like, Spec Ops team with, for a very quiet insertion. There is no indication of there being a pilot, either. Or if there is, he's making no attempt at conversation. Nor is there means to contact him.
Conrad, is there anything in, like, how Conrad's, like, carrying himself now? Does he clearly feel a bit uncomfortable being fundamentally unarmed? Anything else? Anything notable about his person?
It definitely feels like his hands are kind of... It feels like he's sort of like, with his hands, trying to reach out to have something in them. Like, he's so used to having a long las in his hands, or a weapon of some sort in his hands, that it does feel a bit weird to not have it, but he's sort of dealing with that by effectively just playing with, like, maybe a cigarette or anything else that he brought with him.
Uncomfortable and fidgeting.
Yeah, he's fidgeting with stuff at the moment.
Yeah. Janus has made a point of, like, sitting, like, next to you rather than across from you. in this kind of like cramped shot, and he kind of like leans over, and is holding his auto pistol by the barrel as he moves it towards you.
Hmm.
It might be best if you carry this.
But I mean, it seemed like it was quite ornate. Is it not something precious to you?
Tools are tools, they're made. This was purchased by myself and worked on by myself. It was hardly a gift. It holds no sentimental value, and I think you'd be the best one to handle it.
Very well. I mean, I'm not that good with sidearms, but I'll definitely try.
He kind of he nods. He passes
What
you
weapon
that.
was it again?
It's
Sorry.
do you want the full stat line?
No, just what type of weapon is it?
It's an auto pistol.
Yeah, I can't use that really well.
Yeah, you got a -20 because you're not trained.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Honestly, would have done better if you had your sword and you gave it me instead.
Yeah.
But
Side note, by the way, actually, I think the answer's no on that one. Do you have weapon training low tech?
yes,
Okay, never mind.
Yes, he does. Guardsmen do.
Fine, yeah.
that's the reason
Despite
I
most
brought
guards
it up.
minis, the melee guys having a chainsword or something, they have low tech. This.
I think you can pick chain. You can pick low tech
But
or
yeah,
chain. But he
I
passes
say
to
that,
you,
I don't have
along with a
good melee.
magazine. Well, 2 magazines.
Hmm.
And the silencer as well.
Ooh, a silencer.
I'd rather you be armed than me. Like I said, I'm a good shot in theory rather than in praxis.
I'll try my best, but I'm not used to these kinds of weapons. And
It doesn't
hopefully
matter,
we don't have to use it.
It will mean, of course, I'll be relying on you if things ever take a bad turn.
If
You're
things
the
take a bad turn,
experienced acolyte here, so I'll defer to you if I can.
I don't know if you can count me as an experienced acolyte. I've technically not done anything as an acolyte yet, but
More experienced than I, and he kind of paused for a sec. Would you care for a reading whilst we're waiting?
a reading of what? I'm not a religious person.
There's like a complete blank face, like he kind of puts on. That is an interesting thing to admit.
By the way,
Evan.
at this point, I'm putting the gun and the ammo into my combat vest, which I assumed was fine to keep because it's just a vest that I can hide. It's not armor in any way.
Sure. Yeah.
And then it's just
it's like a bunch of combat vest. Kind of comes off as like a load of like gun holsters and shit, like a plate carrier, even without the plate.
yeah. I think
But
of it like
very
the thing,
clearly a piece of combative gear.
but like it also could very easily be hidden via a cloak or anything.
Yeah, but for the combat vest to do its combat vest job, it has to be like on top.
Yeah, I'm putting it there because it's just
Yeah.
for my character, it's easy to get to, not for any like actual mechanical benefit.
Yeah.
So you've got the combat vest underneath a vest, probably. So it's been more awkward
Yeah.
to reach the minute. Okay.
Yeah. It's functionally just me putting it in my inventory, but narratively changed
Yeah.
slightly. Because I like to have the weapon closer to me so that I know I have it on me at all times, instead of it being in like a pocket or something.
Yeah. Admitting yourself to be not religious is an interesting choice, Conrad.
I'm in a situation where I'm functionally being, I'm effectively being held as a prisoner while also having to do jobs. I don't feel like it's much worse than what I am now.
But then, do you not believe in the Emperor of Mankind? Or do you believe in his existence but not worship him?
I believe in his existence. He's never done anything for me. If he does exist and he is controlling everything, he's doing a really bad job of it.
Janus like clearly swallows for a sec.
With what I've seen in my limited time on this plane of existence, he's doing a bad job. He's doing a very bad job.
Okay.
And I've seen the horrendous things that also exist in this world. I don't think I want to worship anything at the moment. I think I'm fine with just coasting on by, and then if I don't coast on by, I don't coast on by.
Did you take me for the atheistic sort, perhaps?
No, I didn't want to hear a bunch of religious babble if you were going to try and talk about that. So I just thought I'd get it out of the way. We're going to be working with each other for at least a month. You'll figure it out. I'm a pretty open book.
Right.
May as well rip the band-aid off immediately.
Okay. Just a future note. I consider myself a very open-minded person. From the few people I've managed to speak to in our Inquisitive service, that might not be true for many other acolytes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Might go really, not very well for you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Are you intending to die?
I mean, I honestly thought I could take you
Executed?
if you tried to attack me.
What? No. No, I mean, you intend to die in the long run if you keep talking like this. Someone
No,
will have
no,
a
no, no,
problem
no.
with this.
No, what effectively what I did was I assessed the situation and thought if worse comes to worse, and he's that super religious people that would immediately say heresy and try and kill me, I could take you. Especially
And
when you gave me my gun.
And you'd be on an Inquisition shuttle in the middle of the void.
They'd still take me to the job, and I could just say that you died in the investigation.
Are there any cameras in the room? Gerbil, as I kind of glance around, because Janus is insanely more concerned.
Give me a. What would it be? Probably perception. Yeah.
Awareness?
Awareness, that's the word.
I'm not particularly aware this isn't going to work well. Any modifiers?
I'm gonna add a plus 10 because you're really looking for these.
Oh, nah.
Well, you don't see any, but you know damn well I don't mean they're listening. I mean they're not listening, should I?
Okay, well, it's good to know that you would consider killing me.
Only if you attacked me.
You're making that assessment, and that's just not a good thing to admit to anyone. That makes you sound like you're insane.
You can't be sane and do this work.
Yes, you can. I'm a very
Well,
sane rational person.
That's the most insane thing you've ever said.
I meet plenty of sane people.
Also,
all of my personal assessments are very sane.
not a sane person does not take those kinds of drugs.
I do it for academic reasons, and I do it safely in a controlled environment.
Yes. But the fact that you do them at all is not
like anyone
sane.
that tests pharmaceuticals. Besides, I have good purposes for it. It's different.
Sure.
It's not really a convincing argument.
No,
and
he
he's
doesn't
kind of
believe it
aware
at
of this,
all.
but he can't elaborate, so he just has to kind of go with it.
I'm just thinking back and going, yep, that's literally what every druggie said. No, I'm doing it. I'm doing it in self-contained. I can stop whenever I want. Yeah, sure.
Kind of, he nods at you for a sec and goes, "Okay, well, you've recontextualize what I was hoping our relationship might be. Great.
Hey, it still can be good. It still can be good.
Maybe never mind on that psychic reading then. It was more of a divination for your future, if it would help you. Make you feel any more
Oh, yeah,
comfortable with
you don't want to do any psychic readings on me. For your own safety.
How do you mean that?
I've pissed off a couple things that live in the place where you live in, like, the psychic-y place.
Something lights up behind Janus's eyes. You have?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, then that's no harm. He kind of pulls his, like, tarot deck out of his satchel.
What? No,
there are
that's
these,
in...
like, thin, crystal, glittering wafers. All with these ornate,
delicious.
extremely... don't eat them.
What? You said
extremely
wafer?
innate, descriptions and, like, art on them. Would you care for a reading?
I mean, if you're fine with potentially the danger from it.
I know what I'm about with these things, don't you worry.
Sure.
Besides, this might help you a tad. So I'm gonna take out my Emperor's Tarot, which
Okay.
is my psi focus. And I think I'm gonna shuffle over a little bit so we have a seat between us. I'm gonna lay the whole deck down, flipped. And I'm gonna ask Conrad to offer me his palm.
Sure.
Okay. I'll take your palm in mine. You feel like a slight warmth or a tingle, not from any psychic energies, but from the electu inductors in my hands, as they kind of send like a very, very gentle charge through them.
Oh, you have those, do you?
I've got all the full set of Mechanicus implants in me.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah,
haven't got the lumen thing, or whatever it's called, unless you charge
I
las
have
packs with
them,
hands.
but I don't have the talents to let me do them. To use them yet.
Or the lightning.
Yeah. Or flying.
Lightning. Very, very frightening.
Galileo.
Galileo.
Okay. Are you about to do some psychic shenanigans on the ship?
A little bit. They know what I'm about. They know this.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's fortune telling.
Yeah. This is a
And then
common imperial practice.
Yeah, and then we're gonna try and stop whatever the fortune telling says, and then by trying to stop it, we will then make the fortune happen.
Now, should I just like make a generic like willpower, like psychic check if I'm using them for this? Like, I'm not using them for any divination talent specific, but it's a general practice, so it'll draw some cards. It might not be relevant.
Sure.
Oh, you've drawn 3
Give me
death
a
cards.
plus 20. That roll.
Okay, and I will be casting it at like the lowest psi rating to be as safe as possible.
Yeah.
You drew the Horus card. I didn't even know they had that one
So
still.
with my focus, that is that. Okay, right. There are a lot of cards in the Emperor's Tarot. Are you cool if I pick a few that I think make sense out of character, but in character I wouldn't be aware?
Go for it. Because I don't remember which cards he has.
There are... Well, we don't actually know how many cards are in the Emperor's Tarot. The entire deck has never been described.
All I know with the Emperor's Tarot is him and Horus had a little Yu-Gi-Oh battle because Horus had his own tarot.
So, as I'm sitting across from you, Conrad, the light tingle in our hands turns to an icy cold for a short snap, as the entire deck lay down in front of you. Several of them immediately flip. You probably have no idea what these cards are.
Reverse Tower.
Yeah, the few that flip, I lift them one by one. The Lantern. He takes out another one. The Falling Star. He takes out another. Regards it for a second and glances to you. The Martyr. Pulls out another one.
That doesn't sound like me. I do know someone with a sword. I know 2 people now with a sword.
The sword does not represent a blade in itself, but a blade in its nature. It is something martial that strikes. not necessarily in aggression or true violence. It can be a severing thing as well. Someone cut off from their past or cutting themselves off from a potential future.
Well, I am a soldier, so that does make sense.
The lantern reveals. The lantern is in reference to, quite often, pursuing a new goal, discovering something new about something else or yourself, or the lantern itself can light a different path to a new future, perhaps.
I see. Interesting.
The falling star, raised in the way it is at its side, can also be interpreted as the shooting star. It is a potential for revelation or personal internal revolution. These things can be represented quite often by a few different variants. It could be that a long life or personal goal will soon be achieved, or one new will be created. Or, if interpreted as its original flipping, the fallen star, you are likely to be grounded emotionally or perhaps physically. For example, if this shuttle was shot out of the sky, we'd become a falling star.
Yeah, makes sense.
They're doing a psychic reading.
I mean,
box.
Are you sure the shooting star doesn't represent the fact that I am really good at shooting?
That's a little too on the nose. And it's the card itself is the fallen star. It can also represent things like a fall from grace, which...
Not really sure I had grace, but originally, but I do feel like I've fallen.
Now,
that does make sense.
I can make no guarantee as to the efficacy of this reading, and you're welcome to interpret it as you desire. But if that makes you feel any better, it's supposed to be, in theory, an objective evaluation.
Okay, so I'm a weapon of the Inquisition. I might find something cool that'll light my way, and we're getting shot out of the air. Got it.
You can take that interpretation if you so like.
Good to know. Good to know. Can you do this kind of card thing for anyone?
Yes, in theory.
Do they have to be right next to you?
Currently, yes.
Hey.
Oh.
I need someone to work as a catalyst.
I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, aren't I? Here.
Can you do it on yourself?
Penlumatic? Penlumatic? I'm probably saying the name right. Hey, thank you very much. Welcome to the channel.
Kind of smiles.
Hey,
I mean,
more than welcome here.
Show you what happens when I
Makes us nice and comfortable doing some Dark Heresy today.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Very flattering we say you're a big fan.
Do it to myself instead.
Yes, I was nice and comfy, my friend.
Any changes to my role?
It changes your role. Ooh. Ooh.
Trying to find out your own future.
Only a +5 for you.
Okay. So willpower. I'm gonna fetter my power as much as I can. So it becomes.
Also, for those in chat, the redeems have been made silent, which is shown visually. As for the Chaos Corruption redeem, I will take it as the Sound Zinchi comment to be the option you've picked. So blue shall be the option.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I'm not doing any chaos shit here. This is extremely normal.
I mean,
the card is using a psychoactive.
If I was sanctioned, it would be fine.
You're not.
Look, I'm unsanctioned, so I'm not telling anyone.
Technically, Korn is already in this room, or at least corruption of Korn.
Yeah.
I will let you pick what you think out of character makes sense, your boy. Again, I don't know the Emperor's Tarot well enough to pick out cards for it.
As I manifest this power, the death card just flips like 17 times.
Oh, I'm surprised that didn't happen to me.
Yeah, it's a little unclear. Well,
I don't think the card's like you.
It's obvious. I can't take any other reading from it, really.
Death.
Wow, you're going to cause a lot of death.
Specifically 17 times.
Yeah, 17, yeah. As he's speaking, by the way, suddenly, the Lost Child and the Fallen Citadel cards flip, then flip back.
Huh.
I miss it. I completely miss it.
And uncomfortable.
Oh, does that mean I'm one of those?
Do you consider yourself a lost child?
I mean,
You
I
could
kind of
say
think.
that can be interpreted as someone who's lost their way, or has simply been abandoned by the institutions they hold closely, or
No.
perhaps has an authority figure in their lives that is diminished.
No, I feel like I abandoned the authority, not the reverse. They didn't abandon me, I abandoned them.
Did they not do anything that caused you to abandon them?
I guess, yeah, I guess they technically did. But, like, they didn't abandon me, I just went, screw it.
I'll not tell you what to see from these. Like, I can't tell myself what to see from these. These are just interpretations. I can offer guidance and nothing more.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. It passes the time, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice to have this work as an entertaining parlor trick.
Yeah, pretty
As
cool.
you put your
He
cards
isn't
away,
sarcastic when he says that, by the way. He's extremely honest.
as you put your cards away, the ship begins to shake a little bit.
I fucking knew it, we're getting shot down!
As you
The falling star card flips.
you manage to you feel it dock, and you hear a hiss. A door opens to a blacked out part of you believe a transport vessel. You're not sure, but you hear over the vox. I suggest you move quickly. You've intercepted mid re-entry.
Very well.
The voice sounded very robotic, and for the more psychically gifted, you don't feel another person.
Well, okay.
Right, let's go.
Jada's kind of picks himself up a little bit. You note that as he does pick up, there's a tear is frozen in his eye, and he just kind of picks it out like a little teardrop and casts it to the ground before following on.
Indeed. As soon as you've entered the ship, the door behind you closes immediately, and it's likely that the shuttle is very rapidly trying to leave orbit. As you are now aboard,
Such a
you believe, a transport vessel. Currently
such a common
re-entering.
occurrence.
Should we sequester up? Where are we, like, physically located? Have we dropped off in, like, a random, like, bit of a hangar that's unpopulated, or...?
You currently in an unpopulated area of the ship. However, there is a small little issue in that your connection to the ship and opening the door has triggered what's likely a small alarm. Likely those will investigate shortly. Coming.
Alright, let's find some cover. Let's get hidden.
You hear voices in the distance. I thought I heard something. Something going on over here. We got stowaways. Pirates?
Are there any, like, vents or anything that we can get into?
There are.
I immediately start scrambling to get into a vent.
Stealth check.
Okay. I'm not that good at this, but I will try my very best as soon as I can use my eyes to actually find where it's there. It is. No bonuses or negatives?
I'm going to say a +10.
Oh! I succeed!
You do. Remarkably so.
I have it known. It just means I don't get the negative.
I will.
I both have worse agility than you, and have it untrained.
I will allow you. Now, I don't know if there's a rule for this, but I will allow you to gift some of your degrees of success to Genis.
Hmm.
If you wish.
How many do I
help
want to
him.
give?
How many do I need? Oh,
Never mind. Doesn't need them.
You both scuttle away as what appears like a hound, a dog-like creature, is sniffing where you were before.
I rolled the same number as I rolled before.
chaos.
The hound don't
Oh,
see
my
anything? Nothing. I mean, it's an older model of hound, I mean. It's not that augmented, so probably, might not be that good
I
smell.
hound 7.
I mean, listen, Rover's a good lad.
The fucking android.
I mean, he's,
Get it?
I do get it. I laughed. It wasn't caught on the mic, but I laughed.
Fortunately, I heard it.
Oh, we're funny.
Oh.
But yes, the dog looks around, able to find you, returns and walks back to its owner. What appears to be a quiet but well-built guard, wielding a assault shotgun and some kind of shock maul. With a carapace plate on his chest, otherwise levers everywhere else.
Should have gotten some good gear from killing that guy. I don't say that. I just continue down in the vents.
Take my fucking long last. I'll get myself a shotgun.
Got my shotgun.
I couldn't use it that well, but
You can technically, if it's a combat shot, you can suppressing fire.
that's true. But I'd have to deal with the dog, and I don't feel like killing a dog.
I'll mind wipe it. It's fine.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, we can train it. We could have the dog.
Every
We're not
time
doing
it
that.
remembers, I just mind wipe it.
Yeah,
We're not actually
so
doing that. We're just crawling through a vent.
yeah, you crawl through for a little bit, and then find a nice little quiet place to sequester yourselves as you enjoy the rumbling of re-entry. As you eventually hear the sound stop, and a lot of blowing of whistles as bodies begin moving, and a small army of servitors enters the vessel to begin slowly pulling various crates. What would you like to do now?
I guess we could just join. I imagine there's a lot of people coming out taking stuff as well. We could just join like the people doing that, and we wouldn't look that out of place. I mean, you might, and maybe I would as well.
I kind of glance around. I take off the jacket that I'm wearing that's very ornately carved to reveal just a white undershirt. Take away the cravat, pocket that, and then wrap the jacket around my waist a little bit so it looks a little bit less poshy, even though the pants and shoes would give it away. But it's a marginal improvement.
I'm actually not sure what I wear under my armor. I imagine it's just common stuff. I don't think I was given anything.
You'd be given some common
Fancy.
clothes if you didn't have anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we could just walk out. You got any better ideas?
I'm welcome to follow on from you.
Perfect. Let's go then. Can we just grab like a random box and act as if we're like taking something off of the ship?
Many of the menials appear to be in kind of like brown robes. A few of them with some mechanical components. One, whose hand appears to have been replaced by an autoquill, stands behind the others. A middle manager, most likely. Most foul creature.
We're gonna have to probably get past him to
You see him
make it off the
barking
ship.
orders. You there, 578. That's big one. That needs to go to hab block 65. You, 74B. That one needs to go to the flight deck Epsilon. Right now. Like yesterday. Why isn't it already there? No excuses. Move it now.
Have you got any plans to get past this middle manager? Because I'm not good at convincing people.
If we only had to get directly past him, I could confuse him a tad.
As long as it's not obvious.
You there, servitors. 12, 13, and 9. That entire crate. Move it. 2 inches to the left.
Yeah, if you can confuse them temporarily while we get past, I think we should be fine.
Okay, alright. What we're going to do, then, is we're going to just move quickly.
Okay.
Just quickly past them. Don't worry about it. Just shuffle on past. The second he notices us, then I'll sort it.
Got it. I start moving.
Roll me a... It's not really stealth.
Both of us or just me?
both of
'Cause I think
you.
we're
I'm trying
moving together with Funny Box, right?
to think what this would be. Would rather him rolling scrutiny, I suppose, be more the accurate thing.
Opposed stealth versus awareness or scrutiny?
Yeah.
And then if that fails, I guess we can try the confusion thing, right?
Oh, shit, that did not work.
Do we get any bonuses or negatives to our roll?
I'm gonna say you will get a +10 to your roll.
Nice, our disguise has worked. Mine didn't work that well. I could re-roll that. Is it worth re-rolling?
I'm gonna bomb pretty much no matter what.
Well,
It's up to
if you bomb, like, unless I roll really well and I can give you stuff, I'd have to roll like a 10.
He
To actually-
rolled a 51.
Oh, so you didn't bomb. If you think about it.
It's the degrees of success comparison. Alternatively, for a post test, you have everyone re-roll until at least one succeeds.
I imagine he's quite
Say-
aware because he's a blimmin' middle manager.
45 is the score he'd need. It's only a middle.
Okay, he failed. He failed by less. It's up to you if you want to just have this go off then, or if we all
We've
re-roll
got a-
until someone gets a
I'd
success.
say he just about noticed, like, hold on, you two. Which one are you again? As his auto quill begins moving rapidly through the paper, he's sifting paperwork through it.
Yeah,
Which one are you? I don't recognize you. Who are you?
Keep moving. And the
Wait.
second he looks like he's gonna hit into a personal crescendo, I lock eyes with him, and I'm gonna try and cast Erasure on his brain.
Okay.
Jesus.
So we're using a ranked 1 psi modifier from my thingy.
He's like rapidly going through his employee list, like, you're not on the list.
He needs to oppose my power manifestation with a willpower.
Ooh.
Oh, he succeeded.
Just do.
And then what's his willpower? / how many degrees of success did he get?
Say if it was like 25.
Okay. Okay, so as we're moving, I wipe the path a minute out of his brain.
Well,
Just completely. So he might still be looking at us as I wipe his mind, but he's simultaneously seen us. He acknowledges that we're past him, and so we must have logically been through this check.
Oh, you. No, you must be on the list somewhere. I'm just. Oh. 71 hours.
Yeah. He's
71
gonna
hours.
He's gonna clock he's behind in his checks now. He needs to catch up.
He starts
He's obviously
running
got a minute of his
quick.
memory.
You see him dart around quickly, micromanaging everyone now. You see him like. He pulls out a small lash and runs over to some of the menials. Work faster, damn it! I'm under time management here. Fools! How'd you let this happen?
Like
The
I
big-
told you, I'm very persuasive, and he kind of runs a tongue along his gums and just like swallows a little bit of blood.
The greatest evil in the Imperium, the middle manager.
Paperwork.
Same difference.
I hate paperwork.
Hey,
Can we
Marie,
continue
welcome on in.
along?
We're doing some Dark Heresy today. Blue for me, yes, we're blue today. Yes. You managed to slip by the middle manager.
Greatest enemy of mankind.
Yes. The scariest enemy we could have dealt with.
Indeed. And as you do, you find yourselves coming up to what appears to be a starport checkpoint. The checkpoint is manned, what appears to be a few individuals, one of them very similar looking to an Arbites, but in red, with kind of a sort of reddish sort of robes, and very clear mechadendrites, mechanical eye, which is likely a camera, and fairly decent armaments upon him. A rather large shotgun, and a fairly meaty-looking shock maul along with a cyber mastiff at his side. Flanking him are a number of administratum clerks and a few, well, pretty low-level tech priests doing various checks and servitors. Along with a few servitors who appear to be functionally medical, but for servitors. Likely because of workplace accidents that are very common.
Interesting.
The checkpoint is also manned by no less than 3 tarantula turrets. Each with
Spiders.
what appears to be likely multi-lasers on each of them.
I thought you were going to say multi-metals. That's a little bit much.
No. Multi-lasers.
quickly get him, and you just evaporate the room.
No, these ones have missile launchers.
I still think it's mental in the Rogue Trader CRPG. The fucking turrets they have for the civilian shuttle port are all armed with fucking multi-metal.
That is wild. I mean, a lot of them are armed with heavy bolters, which I felt was a bit much for this. Or las cannons.
I've got.
I mean, it is a forge world in all fair. Well, it's got a big forge on it in all. It
Yeah.
might have it might be overcompensating a bit technologically in place.
I mean, from where you're standing, you can see the quite colossal planetary gun emplacements for anti-ship.
Do I have operate planetary gun emplacement? Can I get that as a...
I don't think you do.
Okay,
You cannot operate
statistically-
the ship-destroying plasma cannons this planet has.
Are they surface?
Yeah, they're on the surface. Oh no, they're not surface vehicles now. They are on the surface, very obviously out.
Oh. How the hell are we gonna get past this?
Oh.
What
I
do you
really
want
wish
to
they
try?
had given us. I really wish they had given us some fake documents.
We have been a little left out to proverbially dry, it feels.
I don't see a feasible way we can get past that by just, messing with one person's mind.
Is there any way to circumvent this? You've got better eyes than I.
I will try and check. Is there any way of circumventing this that I can see?
Roll me an awareness.
Okay. Any bonuses or negatives?
Plus 10.
Ooh,
I know, I'm very generous.
I succeed.
You do succeed. Well, in that case, you notice the menials don't go through the checkpoint. They go through a little side area, leads to some warehouses, which then, from what you can see, does appear to lead out into the wider forge. There is potentially another middle manager-esque individual in there, but
I sort of subtly point to over there and go, follow me, we'll go this way.
Can I tag along quickly?
moving quickly, your boxes in tow, you are quickly ushered in. A less attentive manager's just slapping them as they go, just hurry, faster, move it, move it.
The guy inside said he's behind, which means I'm behind.
Fuck!
He's also Quilla's going at very, very quick speed.
Get me another Quilla.
Find me another quill, quickly. Give me a quill servitor. And a quill. Where's the servo skulls round here? We're on a forge world. Where's the quill skull? There should be a mile-long bit of paper behind it. Someone find this for me. You two, as he points at you two. Go in there. Find that damn servo skull. Bring it here.
I do a quick nod and I start walking slightly faster.
Yes,
You can
sir.
feel the
I
heat
got
from his
it.
auto quill as you go past it.
Its tip has turned red from heat friction.
He's effectively burning more than he's writing.
It is also this is also again
Fire, bro.
another one implanted as an augment, So his hand is the quill. His hand is the auto quill.
What a horrendous life.
Hey, that's on my list of improvements I want to get.
It actually gives you influence increase. It's considered quite an honor to having one of those. But I think it does restrict one of your hands because your hands.
Yeah,
the
I guess I don't. I guess I don't see the logic, but I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, Conrad doesn't see it. I see why, because obviously
A
it means you're higher
lot
up.
of the management and some of the menials who are tasked with moving things are very obviously augmented. Some of them even having, rather than hands, having like those little clampers to like grab stuff and pick them up.
He gets the clamps.
Manipulator arms.
Manipulators, yes, but his arms are manipulator arms. It isn't sure. You're not sure if he can take those off, or if those are now his arms. He has to feed himself with those things.
He's fine. Old Clampy's fine.
There's also a small chance he has intravenous feeding. Continues working with that jabbed in him. It's Forge World. Human life is considered trash to them.
We just continue on.
Yep. You do find the servo skull as you're looking around. It appears to be continuously bumping its head at a window.
It's trying to run away. It's gained its consciousness back and is trying to run away from just endless work.
It appears to be malfunctioning. Do you wish to approach it, or do you wish to just leave?
I don't want to take any risks. I'll leave.
Janus?
I have to bite back my desire to satisfy my curiosity.
It's fine. The serpent or whatever will hear. I don't know. I forgot what it said.
Wow, that was quick.
I assumed you'd know it. You're smart.
Debatably. Right. We could take a look. I want to fuck around in a human brain. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You
I just look back and I'm like, we're on a secret mission here. What are you doing?
You approach the servo skull. It is spitting out a mound of text. Like the paper's actually getting a bit hazardous.
I'm watching it kind of scowl this paper. I kind of glance over. It's possible we might be able to extrapolate some bit of helpful information from some of this. Unlikely, but possible.
You want to do that? Sure.
And I'm gonna kind of move in towards it. I admit I'm not actually as deft a hand with technology as I otherwise should be. Are you?
I'm pretty good with tech, yeah. Not the best, but I'm okay.
Well, if you'd mind supervising, being the more experienced with us, that'd be excellent.
Of course.
If you'd be so kind. And I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna try and I didn't bring my combi tool. I don't have a combi tool. I took that out of my inventory. Actually, never mind. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try and take a look at it. See if I can fix it up.
You can't see any outward damage. But if you'd like to do a tech use to see if you can diagnose the issue.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a +5.
Oh no, I
you
think
are
you've broken
not sure what's wrong with it, and it spits out loads more paper.
What does it say on the paper?
It knows but must never know. It raps but must never rap. It is beginning, it is end. Who am I?
Time.
In High Gothic.
Oh, I don't know what it's saying.
I can read High Gothic, eat my dick!
I don't... Does it say anything important?
It says your mom.
I kind of nod. M&M. No, that's not the right one.
But the food?
I like the idea that we know about M&M's the food, but not M&M the rapper. bit.
Oh, your M&Ms are great.
Old
It's
Night
primarily-
erased much human history.
Man and
It's
man,
not-
it's the thing for corpse starch.
It's primarily because of how sexy the green M&M remained for the 40,000 years of human
Yeah,
history.
yeah. It's one of the.
What? Why have you now made me think
Okay.
about what would Hive World made rap sound like now?
Because yeah. Does it actually? I look at him and go, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean, Eminem?
I shake my head. Old Law, a once famous Terran musician, I believe. He was known for his exceptional lyrical masterpieces. And also, his mother made a very delicious spaghetti dish.
I
Which was a
see.
very odd aside in otherwise normal history I'm going to be.
What is spaghetti?
It is a condensed.
The server skulls
form-
spit out more paper.
No, we're doing something else. Fuck off, server skull. We're busy.
We're busy.
I'm gonna glance over it again. Whoa, terrible dice. And kind of give it a look see before just very carefully just reaching my hand forward and just tearing off the part and it's spitting out.
The answer's time.
It continues spitting out more, but slower now. And then stops. Parchment reserves empty.
Servo skull. Time. And I wink.
Or it's man. It's one of the two. It's always those with riddles.
Should I make can I make a logic check to see if I can figure it out?
Sure, make a logic check. -20.
Oh, fuck.
Because you don't know the answer.
Time.
I know you don't know the answer.
Oh.
Fine.
You believe the answer
It's Eminem.
to be serpent.
Was it time? What?
The server skull stops. Are you holding the server skull currently?
No, but I'd probably say I'm right. My hands are right near it because I've just torn off that parchment sheet.
It attempts to fly out the window at full force.
Get it! Get it!
Roll me, if you try and grab it, roll me I'm going to say athletics.
Comrade, grab it! Comrade! And I'm gonna jump for it as well. Oh my god.
Okay. Okay, I'll try and grab
No,
it.
+0 for this, by the way.
Cool, I'll make my athletics
Nope.
check then. I'll make my athletics check
Nope.
then.
Nope.
Nope, we both miss it.
Why
We
is it
trip over
0?
each other.
How is it 0?
I have 20 strength and I don't know athletics.
Fuck. Okay.
I'm that weak. I'm
It's,
frail.
Smashes out of the window. Flies
Oh,
off.
we need to leave. We need to leave now.
What the hell was
I'm gonna
that?
roll
Why is there window smashing? Do you know in the fish window smash it? It's somewhere in the distance.
I'm
Run.
rolling up the parchment sheet and stuffing it in my pocket as I follow.
There
after.
is about as much parchment on the floor as is your intestines if stretched lengthwise.
I'm gonna rip off like the top like 20 meters and then just roll that up.
Yeah,
so
it just-
Which is about
Get-
a mile,
get
I
enough-
believe, by the way, for anyone curious.
Get enough that just like
It's
We
repeated, by
can-
the way. It's the same phrase
Yeah,
repeated
yeah.
constantly.
You never know. You never know. There could be differences in very.
One
small
letter's
things.
bigger than the others, and one's
Exactly.
blue
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time, and
And
yeah,
that could
occasionally
reveal the penultimate truth.
occasionally like they bold
they
certain
draw the
letters
funny
that spell
S sometimes,
serpent. The cool
Supposed
S.
to sneak. I'm sorry, I'm dummy thing.
I'm
You
not
spoke.
to be bitch. I have a very small ass.
It's supposed to
Those-
sneak. I figured out a riddle.
Yeah, look, it's different. I have to indulge my intellectual pursuits.
Yes. The
And
skull.
also, it's still doing our job.
It is, admittedly. The skull does fly off into the city. You have no way of catching up with this thing.
So, we're kind of hoofing it. So
I will say, by the way, its eyes changed colour from red to blue when that happened.
shouldn't you and me be unbelievably concerned that within the first 30 minutes of us being here, we've immediately encountered, seemingly by pure accident, an integral part of our investigation.
Oh yeah, that's incredibly concerning because that effectively means
Either one of two things, realistically. They already know about us,
probably true.
and this has been kind of some form of attempted interaction, or the root of this thing goes so deep that statistically we would encounter something like this at some point, just around and about.
I feel like it's both, if I'm being honest.
Both are horrifying potential factors, realistically.
What I've learned from my very limited experience dealing with Heresy is almost entirely they know everything about you and they're more heavily guns and always doing better than you.
Maybe that's a personal failure.
I don't think so.
Jada kind of shakes his head a little bit at that. Interesting.
You do have...
interpretation, I suppose?
Don't forget, you do have your data slate, which does have the address for your house.
Oh yeah. We're making our way to the hideout.
You're sort of going through back alleys at this point, avoiding main roads. Mostly because you can't get to them, because the line of menials is about 2,000 people thick.
I kind of glance over. I suppose we just have to hope we don't run into any naughty vagabonds waiting to grab clerks off the out of.
I'm gonna just say this to you so that you're not surprised. Do not be surprised if randomly at our headquarters there's a giant fucking serpent picture on there.
I don't know what the fuck. Wait, what? Why?
Because I'll be honest, I'm suspecting that we're just gonna keep seeing serpent iconography everywhere.
I mean, there is a very common note in human society. You'll see it come up quite often in most imperial cultures.
I mean, they could just mean that there's like a giant snake creature in the foresty areas, right? They kill big foresty things, right?
Also, the looped serpent is a common interpretation of eternity in some way, shape, or form. Humans themselves
see.
always wanted to pursue the idea of immortality or being forever, because understanding and conceptualizing that we are very limited in our impact and will eventually fade into nothingness is very terrifying for a lot of people existentially.
And so is the serpent
As he
related?
says this, he's ran out of breath completely.
And does the serpent represent any form of chaos thing?
From my own studies, not anything in specific. Yet again, it's commonly, from a folklore perspective, it's often associated with the devil or a form of devil, and therefore connected with the creatures of the warp make a bit more sense. But usually there's no hyper-specific affiliations. They are perceived as evil creatures quite often. So, depending on your belief and opinions on realmatic and warp theory, it's possible that these creatures that we might encounter from the land beyond themselves only represent serpents because of our own preconceived notions and beliefs about Terran serpent.
Okay.
Do you look like you're grasping that at all in character?
Well, maybe, because I technically have Forbidden Law Heresy. And so I know a bit about Heresy. I know a bit about Heresy. Can I do a roll to see if I know if there's any obvious association with serpents and chaos?
Now, Heresy and demonology are different, by the way.
Yeah, but I'm talking about people Heresy using a serpent as a symbol for their chaotic stuff.
Go for it. +0, I'm gonna say.
Damn. Oh well.
You're not sure. Your kind of head's still a bit fuzzy because you had a lot of this information beamed directly into your brain matter
Oh yeah.
at
He doesn't
Mach
know much
10,
about this.
and you're pretty sure they use needles.
Hmm.
Do not have any comfortable thoughts about what else they stabbed you with while you were asleep.
So yeah, I'm
And the
just nodding
surgeon
along.
being way too keen about it too. Like lick-lipping kind of keen, like weird.
You have 40 intelligence.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
I'm pretty smart.
It's like respectfully smart.
Like my character just has to assume you're stupid because he's
I've got a lot of. I'm pretty
He's
good
like-
at using my tech.
It's the highest you can get by character creation.
I know you're better at tech than me as well.
I have a plus. I've also upped my
We
intelligence.
need to give you
by
a combi
5.
tool, really.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to get one, but
We
I
can
don't know,
steal
I
one
think
on the
I'm up.
Forge World, it's fine.
Yeah,
Plenty
there'll
of
be
'em.
combi tools here.
I mean, hell,
Um,
maybe one of you can get a mechadendrite.
By the way,
Who knows?
I'm assuming like out of character, there is definitely a chaos god that's associated with serpents.
Technically Slanesh,
Yeah,
but there are
like,
other
it's
things.
literally
But also,
their
there's
animal.
a lot of symbols of the Imperial Eagle killing a serpent,
Yeah,
or a sword
And
being driven
also,
into a serpent. It's also quite common.
if you can consider like snakes as like liars, you could also probably associate it with Zinch.
True. You managed to come across your safe house after a bit of searching. It was over the top of a butcher's, seemingly. And by butcher's, I mean it converts the local animal livestock into paper.
The local animal livestock is humanity.
Oh no, that's a separate place. That's the corpse starch. And that's nowhere near you. That's underground.
We're in a giant hive forge. There's two local
It-
animals,
they-
rats and people.
They're probably just getting them from the knights that they kill.
A lot of pigs are used in paper
Oh,
making.
there's also a lot of pigs here.
Yeah.
Yeah, police, am I right? And then we hide.
Yeah, nice. High five.
In a world where police brutality makes Judge Dredd look tame,
Hey, all that means is it validates my opinion.
Judge Dredd at least put you in an icebox, but the Arbites don't wait for that.
Right.
I could beat an entire Arbites precinct with my ball.
We
Sure.
we put in the code to unlock our hideout.
The door you put the code in doesn't open. A wall to the side of you does.
Oh, genius.
It's just needlessly. Is that a fake door, or is there still a door behind it? It just goes to somewhere else. That's the real question. I'm gonna knock on the
Yes.
door.
You find the door. Sounds like there's something behind it, but you can't open it from your side.
I'll glance over for a second, kind of pause. I understand that I may have potentially somewhat went off track and maybe doing that so again, Conrad. For context, when I was a young man, I picked up a mimetic virus that instinctively makes me attempt to pursue information. It's very
You're saying this and you're like explaining a backstory. I'm like, can we do this inside, please?
Yeah, I know. I in retrospect,
Pulling you inside,
felt
pushing
like
you
maybe
through
I
the
did
hole.
blame myself a little bit.
The door
Yeah,
does
and, like,
close immediately the
I
minute you walk
pick you
past it.
up and I'm moving you into the hideout.
He's still talking.
I feel like physically I could maybe do that.
Probably.
I'm so fragile.
He's your
I'm
Groot
not
Twink.
even-
I'm sorry to
I'm
say
not
he's the
even
Groot
that
Twink. Good luck.
strong.
I have 20 strength and 25 toughness.
The door closes behind you. It notices a face on that part of the wall.
Is it a serpent face?
It's a servitor.
Oh,
Just a head.
It's-
It's your face.
It's your
Mirror.
face.
You haven't figured it out.
oh, interesting.
No, it's a hairless, pale, black-eyed servitor.
Good to know.
Oh, man.
Door is now sealed.
It is?
Hermetic seal complete.
Hermetic? Okay.
He's religious. Janus kind of looks at Conrad and looks very upset he didn't get the joke, or he just didn't think it was funny. His
Now,
eyes like, drop a little bit.
He was not smart enough to get the joke. I said fuck you. But is there anything cool in this hideout?
As you go through to another room, you notice it's quite open plan. The door that you thought was a door is actually connected to a small little area that can receive mail. So someone puts a parcel in there or something. There's like a secondary door you can open, then receive it, and reopen it again.
I thought you were going to say the door was connected to a landmine.
Door is connected to a shotgun.
There is a single tarantula turret that turns to immediately as you walk in.
That's
But then
so big!
flashes blue, and then
That's
retracts
so much-
into the ceiling.
It's taking up so much of our room.
Massive.
The room isn't massive, but there is room for compartments.
The second I see that turret, I'm like, oh my fuck. It just vanishes.
This one had flamers.
That's worse.
Once that closes, and you sort of a compartment on the roof kind of like slides over the top of where it was under. A cogitator fires up immediately. A sort of a wooden desk with a incense burner to the left, a rune board in front, and a large sort of 4-screen setup.
Nice.
Behind it is a kind of pyramid-esque structure with loads of blinking little lights running along it. Fairly quiet. Other than that, there is a small book repository, mini library, with some space additions. There is a few bunks. There is what appears to be a much simpler version of the medical bed that you had on Nox. By much simpler, I mean it is not a miracle cure, but it could potentially save your ass. It has a few medical sort of facilities on it. There is also a weapons rack
with nothing on it,
with a las gun on it. Las pistol, sorry, las pistol. Excuse me, las pistol, and 2 power packs. Las pistol has
not bad.
What's the name of the attachment? Unless you pull it out quicker. So a quick draw.
The name of that attachment is deactivated safety.
Oh.
Which is an insane name.
Deactivated safety features.
I think that's
may ready another weapon or draw another item as part of the same action.
That's the whole secret. That's what you'd think it would be, but no, it's the safety features have been deactivated. You'd think it'd be a better grip, chat. You would think that, but no, it's deactivated safety features.
There's obviously custom grip.
Oh, custom grip. That's better. That's better. Sorry, that makes more sense. What I'm after. Custom grip.
Custom grip is just a +5. That means, but it'll have to be a custom grip designed specifically for him.
Oh, it is.
So they would hand for models.
Oh, they got one. He was unconscious for days. You remember?
Yeah.
They had his entire body to use at their disposal.
Well, I guess this gun was made for me.
It was.
This hole was made for me.
You can have your gun back. I give Janice his gun back.
Okay, he pockets it again.
25% chance shooting the foot. I mean, going off the usual thing, chat, it would be shoot yourself in the nuts going off the amount of that has actually happened.
Joke's on you. I can already quick draw my weapon thanks to my combat vest if I had it out, which would mean they would know I had a gun. But that's fine.
You could say jokes on you. I could shoot myself in the dick without any modification.
I mean, the deactivated
I can.
The deactivated safety is inbuilt into it has. If you fail on a movement skill test, you fucking like shoot yourself, or it just off.
Oh well, there you go. There you go.
Perfect. But I didn't get that. I
But no,
got the
this is the
blooming-
grip. This is the grip.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
They aren't quite trying to get you killed.
You could have fooled me. You could have fooled me. We had to get like past 3 checkpoints to actually get to this place.
Oh, there's also a pair of combat knives and a pair of backpacks for you.
Ooh, combat knives. Do you want a knife, Janice?
I fear I'm likely not to be much use of one, but I'll take one just in case. It's a useful tool more than a weapon for me.
I would guess I have about a 25% chance of hitting with a knife.
That's a really specific guess.
Not
There's
been very well
also
trained for it.
2 doses of stim and a single dose of decaf.
Fucking decaf?
Decaf.
That's great. Recaf?
Hey,
Recaf.
Janice.
I don't want decaf.
Decaf, yeah, decaf.
It's decaf recap. It's completely worthless.
Hey, Janice.
Mhm.
You seem like you're the smarter sort. Why didn't we get all of this stuff before we came on planet?
I believe it. No, they couldn't have already been here. Maybe
Because this
they
is
had...
made for me.
It is possible they had an on-planet
Weaponsmith?
artificer who was contacted and provided your hand measurement,
Okay.
and they just made an adaptation.
Listen, you joke, but someone
It
in
was
the Imperium
easy to
probably
get
runs
it
up to a
hand
demon
on
engine and
hand
just stabs it with a
over
knife and kills it.
perhaps. And it was
They just have to be-
for you.
They have to be Chad enough.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
to
Don't worry
guess,
about it.
yeah, I mean that makes more sense than my idea was.
which was
They're just incredibly inefficient.
The Imperium inefficient? I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's like to also be that, as all large organizations tend to be.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if this is rude. How old are you?
Oh, 22.
Jesus.
He cocked his head. Why?
I was just you looked young.
He looks incredible. Honestly, he looks 70. He looks even younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say you looked. Wait, can I check to see if you're lying to me?
Do you wanna
I
roll
don't
them?
have scrutiny, but I can try.
Do you want to do that?
You can make a scrutiny or an inquiry test probably works. I'd reckon.
Let me have a check to see which one I'm
Alright,
better
chat,
at.
we must be
might
careful
be-
not to offend the admin team. I'll be very upset.
It might be scrutiny
fail.
fellowship perhaps rather than perception. If you're trying
Doesn't
to
matter. I
figure out-
failed either way. I just assume you were telling the truth.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie.
There is one other
You
thing
need to.
within the house, by the way.
Oh,
A data slate with contacts. I have posted them in the Discord, but I will read them out as well.
Is there Papa John's?
There is no Papa John's.
what about
Fuck.
Domino's?
What about Denny's? Canonically, the Emperor went to Denny's.
There is no
Canonically,
Denny's.
you would have gone to all of them.
It's
if you
in the
think about
Horus
it.
Heresy. I can give you the quote.
I would like this quote. It'd be funny.
I'm lying.
I was going to say, you had to read through all those books for that one, by the way. All's like, what, 70 plus?
It's the very last one. You know when he's having the card duel? Like one.
Oh, no, that's the last one. Last one's Age of Ruin.
It's so stupid. I fucking hate
I
it.
think that's the last one, unless they're going to go up to when Gilliman had his throat cut. But I doubt that, because it wasn't really Horus Heresy.
Mid psychic duel, they both like home horror take a break and we're going.
Is it a sponsored segment? Because
Yeah,
they had to.
It's sponsored. Imagine.
Everyone gangster until Nurgle's demons rock up with the Dairy Queen.
I'm seeing a name on there. That's interesting.
Hmm?
I'm gonna mug and steal that bitch's face.
You have
don't
local
feel
enforcer,
like-
Julian Moreau. You have Majos Zalia 12-4B, Squire Janus, which I promise you I wrote down before I saw a character's name.
I'm gonna steal
and
that bitch's
Clerk
face.
Harlot Croft are the contacts for you to reach out to. Harriet, sorry, not Harriet. Harlot. Harriet. Why is it Harlot? Why did
My
I say
name-
that?
Is it because I keep saying that to Mute? I call him a harlot all the time.
Yes, probably that. He is a harlot, bro.
Oh,
And he likes being called that. And I'll hear nothing else.
Hi there, I'm a harlot. Nice.
That's like
Yes,
that's
my,
worse than
my-
like those people who call their children Crystal.
Max,
No, I'm
boy,
right.
you can 100% one tap a demon engine with if you got
It possibly could. If you're a named character, you can.
Defilers are actually pussies. Just stab them once.
It's
fine.
when they get a new model, though, then you won't be able to do it because then they have a new model.
Yeah, they have to win the next fight.
They haven't had a new model since the 90s, I think. That
No,
model
I
can
don't.
drink. That model can vote. The model can drive.
Legally, I don't think it's a citizen. So
yeah, I don't think that's true.
I mean, they're made here,
think
so, you
really-
know.
I think you shouldn't be spreading misinformation like that. That's pretty fucked up, mate.
Look,
You-
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like,
tell
I
it
don't
to not
feel
drink.
like, I don't feel
prefer
like
egg.
Squire Yanis. I don't feel like
jumping.
but I don't feel like the problem was the name being different. That was
we-
the.
We
It
could
is pronounced
coincidentally look the
Janus
exact same.
rather than Janus.
Like
Janus.
feasibly, if it was the name, I could act like Squire Janus.
Yeah, like what if coincidentally we also look the exact same?
I mean, what are the chances? Eh?
Insert that scene from Metal Gear where the guy grabs him by the
Also, it's a-
crotch. You're
It's a
different.
contact. This isn't somebody we want to kill.
Yes, he is your contact, by the by.
It is what it is. You know how things go.
No, I don't. How many contacts have you killed?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yes, 0. You've not been on missions. That's the answer.
I've told you I've not been on missions.
I believe you. Why wouldn't I believe you?
Figure out the lies.
Liar and a thief.
I'd never lie to you.
That's not true.
You're like, well, I know that one's a lie.
Oh, God. Right, well. You've gotten to your safe house.
Great. We'll sleep here for a month and say nothing's happening.
What do you wish to do from here? You note that the two prominent locations, obviously the forge itself, which you're currently in a hand block, but you get to the forge pretty easily. Otherwise, you could take a maglev train over to the nearest night outpost. It's the edge of the city. After that, you're in the wildlands, where you would need, honestly, something akin to a tank to drive around. Not just because of the terrain, but because of the hostility. There are a few testing grounds for said Lehman Russ vanquishers.
Hey, Yanis, do you want to sleep for a month and say there was no heresy here?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Tense
First of all,
sisters
We'll be held accountable.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous move, my friend.
Second of all,
They are crazy as fuck, and I mean crazy.
would you not feel an immense degree of guilt if we didn't do anything and something very horrible happened on from? We have an objective requirement. We have a responsibility to humanity.
Okay.
You're welcome to not perceive it that way.
No,
Or
I
make it
I
less
perceive
free.
I perceive it as being for humanity. Yeah, 100%.
Is he trying to make an inflection with that I'm not getting out of character?
Oh, he's just not. He doesn't think it. He just doesn't think of it for the Emperor. He thinks of it for humanity. He considers them separate existences.
Fucking heretic.
Yeah. takes one to know one.
Adam, you're talking about I am extremely faithful to the Emperor, and please do not read my forbidden law skill.
I mean, we all have forbidden laws. It's not. It's not.
Yeah, but mine is specifically the occult demonology.
Yeah, I'm sure my other friends got that as well.
So I kind of glance over you as I look over the contact list. Anyone
wonder
in
if
here
this-
that the veteran acolyte, the senior acolyte, would consider best to pursue?
Oh fuck! I missed down.
Oh, was he a prior companion of yours?
He was an actual veteran that
Where
knew
is he
what was
now?
happening. Uh, in bits and pieces on our previous mission.
Shows the benefits of veterancy, I suppose.
He sacrificed himself so that we could all survive.
That's one way of wording
He kind of.
That's how I word it.
it. Those in
Well, I'm
chat,
sure from
he was sacrificed.
all you've evidence of me, you did your best to save him. I can respect that greatly.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah,
I'm,
I did.
I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try and read your thoughts.
No, you can do it. I'll be honest. It's pretty obvious on my face that there's something
The
that, like,
guilt.
yeah, there's a definite guilt there.
So I'm gonna cast telepathic link.
Okay. Do I know that you're doing this?
Uh,
Is there any verbal or somatic components?
there's no indication there is. We're just trying to read surface thoughts.
Okay. Is there a
So,
check or do you just get it?
It's a
we
manifest.
make a opposed willpower test.
Oh, well, you succeed.
Try it. Might fail.
I have a 15 willpower at the moment. I mean, you did fail, but I'm going to fail by more.
Not doubles though, so I don't explode.
Yeah, he's not sanctioned, so.
Now keep an eye out.
Oh!
I've rolled on 100.
Wowzers.
I have 9 degrees of success. I said I was an open book.
Okay.
Yep, you read them, alright. You fucking read them. Strains you a little bit, because you fuck it up a little, but.
Would you say that I kind of know what happened to Death?
You have a vision, which is the voice of a man declaring his final rites before a towering figure. Before a door slams shut in an eruption of heat.
Yeah, I don't think you know everything. I think you know surface level, me
Yeah.
running
But you
when he
do
blows
feel
up.
an immeasurable degree of guilt.
Do
And
I
fear.
actually though? Conrad,
Yeah.
do you feel guilty?
Oh yeah, I feel like I wish I could have done something different.
Okay.
There's guilt there.
Jared kind of glances away.
The guilt is mixing with the fear, the sheer raw terror of a
Yeah.
man frozen stiff.
There is more fear there than there is guilt, but there's definitely guilt. Like if you were getting a vision
In
of my
fact-
mind,
Janice,
Yeah.
willpower test, please.
Any modifiers? Is it psychic?
Plus 10.
Would jaded or resistance fear assist me in any way, shape, or form?
As resistance fear. It's a fear. It's technically a fear test.
Failed to 2 degrees.
However, you actually suffer any consequences, but you feel for a brief moment the exact level of terror he felt as you have a vision of when the Night Lord was in his face.
and the thing is with it is there's what he actually looked like, and then there's what my brain has
You perceived
now.
him as...
You're
Yeah.
you're perceiving this like bat-looking creature, this with like these great like lightning bolts screaming from him, his burning red eyes, and just blood dripping from his mask, and just screams.
Janus's heart rate's like spiking, but then out vocally kind of motions to himself. How functory. Huh. Symbolism. Interesting. Conrad, you
Mhm.
might feel a slight presence. Would you mind letting it through? I need to establish to see if I can link with you using our reliquaries.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if it's needed for the mission.
And I'm going to cast telepathic link again. If he's willing, he can count as auto-failing it and rolling.
Are you willing?
I mean, yeah, he's told me that all it is the telepathic link, so I'll just do it.
Okay. He auto fails.
Just check it. Yeah, nothing explodes. Just got to check.
Roll a 66.
Come on in.
There we go. Okay. And yeah, I'm just using the fort sending here. So you hear testing, testing, 1 2 1 2.
Heinous.
Wow, I can hear you in my head. This is surreal.
It cuts off. Strange, right? Some people find it very. Again, I'd quickly test it in case we have to use it in a stress situation. You know the feat.
Hmm.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I'm just thinking out of character. I'm thinking back to have I ever come across somebody talking in my head yet? Did it ever happen with any of that chaos shit?
I don't believe so. I
No.
think it was all like vox casters and screaming at
Do
you.
demons talk in your head?
They talk vocally, but they can talk in your head if they have the disciplines.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A
cool.
Lord of
Yeah, there's no-
Change very likely could talk in your head, for example, from miles away. Or a Zinchian demon probably could.
He just sings Baby Shark to you until you kill yourself.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long.
That's 7 seconds. That was the fastest one yet.
He does it 9 times. And you explode.
Ooh,
Spooky
9.
number. Spooky number.
9.
A really, really well made stop motion animation.
Oh, 9. I don't think it's
Yeah.
stop motion.
I don't think it's stop
Well, I know
motion.
what you mean. It's very good.
I don't think so.
It goes very hard. It goes very hard. Now, speaking of going, or calling, what are you going to do?
No, I don't think that's stop motion at all. Let's see. I think we first need to figure out who are we going for first.
Senior acolyte. What would you consider to be the best person to pursue?
Well, junior acolyte. The only hint that we have about this serpent thing came from a servitor, which to me links the most to the head of the forge over any of the other potential suspects, as I assume he would be the technological head of this place. So maybe we need to go after the Magos first?
The Major Dominus.
It's a large first step, but yeah, it typically seems like they're the most likely thing behind it.
I will stress,
And
he is a Dominus. Just for
Yeah.
reference.
and worst case scenario, the forge is probably the place where both him and the head of security are. Feasibly. Maybe not in the same place, but in that location, whereas the night stuff we would have to go to the outskirts. So I guess the person that we would be contacting would be the only Magos on there. Alternatively, I guess we could ask the clerk if there's been any other servo quill incidents.
Now, it does state on the data slate that there are certain times of the day when you may make these calls. Exactly noon and 11:59. Nova times.
Giannis, do you have any way of measuring what time it is on this planet?
Pulls out a data slate. This might automatically sync. I don't know if we're going to connect to any local network.
You connect pretty easily, actually. Yeah. But then you disconnect.
Interesting.
Then you reconnect again. But little inquisitorial eyes at the top left of the screen there.
Well, I don't like that. I have a lot of personal content on here. Would you like to see?
Sure.
He kind of leans over and he shows you. No. It is 2,500 pages of fan fiction.
Anything good in there?
It primarily follows and pursues. It's Caiaphas Cain fan fiction.
Oh, I was really expecting it to say Morrow Blackguard.
And his trusty companion,
He was always really skilled and really handsome and tall, has a good set of
Jurgen.
hair, and
And then Amberly Vale's permanent lover, Mora Blackguard.
I see. I see.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
you see.
there's
I
a
see.
small few notes about a small Gretchen. The running title's
that-
Greenskins at the moment. We're not too sure.
Is that
None of you in Charlie get a
Heresy?
reference. It's fine. You wouldn't have a clue who Amber Vale is. She's the Inquisitor. You would have no fucking idea who she is. Caiaphas Cain is the glorious hero of the Imperium and is a absolute, of course, big old hero, very brave.
Canonically, Janus owns the Black Library novel Caiaphas Cain, Hero of the Imperium, because it's an in-universe book.
It is. It would not be from the Black Library, however,
No.
because the Black Library, in lore, is in the webway and guarded by a fucked up clown god.
Now, this book is dispersed commercially and is also signed and edited by Amberly Vale.
Yes.
okay? I don't. Is this relevant to the mission?
Not even slightly.
No, sorry. I'm just a little proud of it, is all. He kind
No,
of turns his face away, a little dejected almost immediately. And then he kind of turns off the data slate again.
I make it my goal to not read
Any
Not
of
read.
this shit.
anything.
No, I like the idea. You're just like, I make it my goal to read.
To not read because,
Just to talk.
like,
Don't matter.
among other things, like, most of the time it's heresy, but then if it's not heresy, it's religious stuff, and that's boring.
If I can't read, I can't read Heresy.
All books are heresy.
The only time a book isn't heresy is when the priest reads it to me at bedtime.
Under his breath again, you hear, "Blessed is the mind too small."
It's so funny because I am quite intelligent, but it's
like, I
all
will-
experience.
This is when he
all
takes
just
language chaos
experience.
marks.
I have literally
Because chaos is all
never read a book
pictures.
in my entire life.
Like,
I can't read.
Oh god, does that
He
mean
just
your
gets-
weakness would be if someone showed you a picture book, it's like, it's corruptive as fuck, but it's pictures. So like, oh, it's pictures, this is nice.
Look, my weakness. I'm so weak to corruption already. You don't need to talk about that.
Oh, a
I
commissar.
have a
Oh,
Yeah, 100%. If you showed me that vision, knowing what I know now, I'd still do the same thing again. That's the thing.
but yes. Any ideas on...
I gave him the time.
What time is
Maybe
it?
it's updated. What time is it?
It is currently...
About 10
It's
minutes
currently
past
about nearly 12 noon.
7. Oh, so what do you think, Junior Acolyte? Should we go talk to the clerk about the servo quill incident, or do we just go to the Majos about, I guess, finding a way to investigate their leader?
Maybe getting in contact with Major Salia could be the smarter idea then, I suppose.
I mean, it could be that none of the suspects are the actual suspects, and it's just a whole thing relating to the clerk system, the administratum, or whatever it's called.
Does a contact dossier, I kind of skim over it, contain any information about what these people are allowed to know or can even know? Oh.
It suggests to keep all information minimal and that they will answer questions if possible.
Do they even know we'll be from the Inquisition?
They know what they need to know. And they know if
I'm
you're
guessing
contacting
that's
via that cogitator, then it is from you. If it's from anywhere else, they have to ignore.
Right. So what I'm hearing is we ask them questions, but we don't try and get personal with them.
It's advisors that
Any-
you don't ever meet. Ever.
So before we call them, we should probably establish what we're going to ask them. I believe one of the things is probably just like, hey, has there been any, like, mechanical faults with any of the servitors? Like, of note recently?
Confirm dates occurrences, locations if possible. Manufactories they originate from as well.
Yeah, just effectively like, hey, we'd like a full report on all of the mechanical faults, or the mechanical faults that you know of at the forge and where they're from. Full report
Okay.
kind of thing. And then what else do we want to ask?
I'll tell you
Do
what.
we ask about the serpent?
Do you want to write that down? As I'm intending to make this a little shorter as we're down one person, and then we can start next session with the call.
Okay, we're gonna brainstorm questions for all of them.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You got some time to do that.
Yeah.
And
I only really have questions for like 2 of them.
with that, chat, we will wrap things up here. As I say, a little shorter today as we're down a person, and I don't want to miss out too much. But we should hopefully have the whole gang back together, ripe for my abuse, in 2 weeks' time.
Why does he use the terms like that?
That's fine. We're not
And yet you come back for more.
in combat.
Yeah, because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Masochist, got
He
it.
is.
I love being beaten viciously.
Evidently.
It's important.
You consent by arriving here.
Remember, kids, consent is king.
Consent is king,
Yeah.
and they've consented to the suffering. Right. Well, thank you all for watching, everybody. I hope you had a good time. And for my 2 players, if they wish to remind everyone where you can find them, as one of them streams regularly, one of them will eventually maybe stream regularly, maybe.
I prefer the term streams theoretically.
Where are you going to stream theoretically?
Where I've been banned. I have to go back to Kick now because I was too
edgy.
horrible online. I was too. No. I was just horrendously racist.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost got banned from Kick, which is saying something.
Yeah. You have no idea what you say to get banned from Kick.
Yeah.
I have not been banned from Kick, and I've not used Kick.
The Baron Zuckerberg channel shares none of the views of these individuals, and nor shall I be considered comparable to their words.
Baronzar specifically told me that
I'm
Kick
going to
sucks.
hurt you.
Baronzar was like, damn, I am a real big fan of people that use Kick. Andrew Tate seems like a
Why,
really...
don't even make the joke. Someone will be stupid enough to think that's been genuine.
And then he said, like, if I'm driving a car, I like to specifically honk my horn at everybody to annoy them.
Fuck, don't. He is
also-
kidding, by the way. I'd like to clarify, he is kidding.
I also make
He's never
sure
used
that
Kick.
I make my daily gacha grinds whilst driving through school zones because their lives are less important than my original.
That's not
I'm
where I thought that joke was
exclusively
again.
a mill deck in Magic the Gathering. I only do mill decks.
Yeah.
Okay, you can find both these guys on Twitch. They're my favourites before they say anything fucking just damaging.
Not in the favourites for long.
Ugh,
You can find
potentially
me
not.
in your walls watching, always.
Yeah.
Right, and chat, you will probably see me technically on Tuesday. There's a video coming out. I remembered, don't worry. And schedule will be up on various places later today. These 2 will likely have their schedules up when they wish to do so, if they have one. It might not.
My schedule's just always up. It's the exact same thing.
It's on his Twitch page.
And remember, kids,
Yeah.
never shower. It's a conspiracy.
And this is where we turn off the chat mode. There we go. Now they can't hear you. They can't hear you anymore, cretins. Right. Okay, chat. Have a good night, everyone. Take care of yourselves. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye.